I'm Shane.
I'm Bo.
We are your Kentucky Fried Critics.
Welcome back.
Here we are for another one.
Another one.
Episode 10?
10, yes.
10.
Season 2, episode 10. We're doing better about keeping track.
Yeah, we are. Well, it was easy because I remembered that it was 8 to end out Halloween, and then we did our special one, so it made it officially 10.
Yeah. Right. Nice even number. I
Yeah.
like 10.
But yeah, so we have officially left all things scary.
Yeah, there's no more spooky. I'm a little sad.
Although, that being said, I think we can officially announce it. I don't remember, have we announced it? We're better, but we're not great. If we have announced it, then you're hearing it again. If we haven't announced it, well, this is your announcement.
Yeah,
you get to
surprise.
Find out. Christmas this year is going to be Black Christmas.
Black Christmas.
All spooky Christmas.
We're going to do scary Christmas movies. Your Black Christmas, right?
Silent Night,
Deadly Night, Santa Sleighs, Ginger Dead Man. That'd be a good
Maybe.
one. I know. We're still working on the list.
Definitely, we have to have Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yes, that
we
one.
promised our littlest fan
He will be
one
very
that he
upset.
can watch. Yeah, so we have to, but
And
it's still spooky.
And it's been a while since he's been on the show.
Yeah, well, exactly. We owe him one, so
Mhm.
we can't deny that request. But beyond that one, we don't know anything for sure. But we do know.
Was surprised at how many scary.
Yeah, there
Christmas
are a lot
movies
more
there
to
were.
choose from than we thought there were before we started this endeavor.
Right.
And we started looking, and we were like, "Geez, I guess
God damn, they're all over the place.
I've seen more." Yeah, so
there's like 3 versions of Black Christmas. I think.
there's a whole bunch. So yeah, you guys already know we've got that coming in store for us, but
It's very exciting.
we are gonna spend the next few weeks as a little bit of a cool down time from one scary
we're
set.
back. We're going back to old form. We're just random good movies.
Yeah, no Thanksgiving this year. I know last year we pulled out 3 Thanksgiving movies for you. Harder than you'd think.
That was really hard.
Way harder than you'd think.
I think that's it. Those are the Thanksgiving
Those
movies.
are certainly the ones that I could easily think. Like, I'm going to be, again, not that we don't pull obscure on people sometimes, but we would certainly be pulling obscure, I feel like, after
I feel
those.
like Dutch was pretty obscure.
Well, it's a good one. I just don't think it's one that everybody automatically thinks.
Right.
Like, it's obscure because people don't automatically think, oh, that's during Thanksgiving break, right?
Yeah.
Like,
They're just like, oh, they just remember him and the kid.
Yeah, and it's a car travel movie.
It's a road trip movie.
Road trip movie.
It's a Thanksgiving road trip
Exactly.
movie.
It goes a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this
we
year...
can go back to it. We just do a road trip movie and we're like, we're doing Dutch again.
I'm down to do Dutch again. I love that movie. But yeah,
I won't shoot you with a BB gun next time.
That sounds like a good deal. But yeah, so that we are definitely done with that and moving on to some regular movies for a few weeks.
This was your pick.
This is my pick.
I've never seen this one.
Well, you hit the beer first, and then I'll hit him with the movie.
All right. Oh yeah, the beer. Very important. The unofficial third co-host of the show.
That's
the
right.
beer. We got BrewDog Company again. We like BrewDog. Got the Wingman Imperial IPA, Tropical Storm.
That's why I say, yeah, make sure we hit all of it, because I don't know what's...
I like the parrot.
I don't know what's naming and what's not naming.
I don't either. Yeah,
is it Wingman Imperial IPA or is it Tropical Storm? Or do they have a Wingman Imperial IPA and they have
like
several
like
varieties?
A fruit punch one or something?
Right. Well, they just got multiple varieties, right? I guess we should look into this. But again, you guys know us. Sometimes we don't think about these things until it's way too late. So, but yeah, you might have noticed during our An American Werewolf in London, where we both we started drinking too soon. Our research wasn't maybe as good as we should have done.
Whatever,
and so
that episode was fun.
It was fun. I am not saying there was anything wrong with that episode. I am just saying that we had been doing really good on both of us doing some research and coming in knowing some people and stuff. And that one are big people, and we both were just like half wasted and like, I can't think of anything.
That guy was in this, I think.
It's a movie.
this movie's good. Watch.
Norbit.
Norbit.
That's
yeah,
what
I threw out Norbit.
Of all the things you could think of for Baker, you just kept,
it was.
I know it was
like
in your
the
head.
Only good thing about that movie was the makeup effects.
But yeah, so this week we are trying to be back on form. So yeah, we've got this beer. We didn't do our research on the beer, so maybe that's our cue to start doing that too.
Should we work harder, you think?
I don't know.
Like, when we start get paid to do this, I'll do more research. When this becomes my minimum wage job,
we do the movie research. That's all right research. You know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of hard to do the extra research.
Yeah, it's hard to do the beer research, movie research.
The beer being as weird as it is probably making a lot of you go, "What the hell kind of movie could that be?" This is going to be a little bit of a reach, a stretch.
I don't know. I mean, there's a Birdman on the can.
I know. But that's where it becomes the stretch, though, right? Like, because the movie is Gleaming the Cube. And it is about skateboarding. And it does have Tony Hawk in his Birdman era. Yeah. I give you. But did you see? I mean, during Friday the 13th, we set up our 6 degrees rule.
Yeah.
That is pushing that 6th degree, I think. Right?
6.5, 6 3/4 of a degree.
But yeah, so it still got us there, but I will say it was a bit of a leap. But that being said, I had to do it because Bo can attest to this. I have been dying to do this movie. I absolutely love 80s.
You brought it up like 6 months ago, and yes. I'm just like,
we've been looking.
I thought you were talking about like that horror movie, The Cube, and shit. And I was like, oh yeah, we can do that. And then you started talking about skateboards, and I was like, I don't think we're thinking of the same movie.
Yeah, I was like, no, not The Cube. Although those are good movies. Right. I'm not going to deny. Yeah, so I love 80s Christian Slater. And this movie is probably the least talked about 80s Christian Slater.
I've never heard of
it.
Like,
when people talk 80s Christian Slater, they're usually going to be dropping
Heathers,
or they're going to pump up the volume, or he's got again, it's angsty fucking movies.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorites because it's all of the angst from him in a character that shouldn't have it. Like the other movies, you're like, okay, I can see why he's an angsty kid.
Broken home, all that shit.
And
this one, nicest fucking like white suburban parents and shit.
It's insane. This movie comes so left field with all of this crazy shit. But he delivers that angst. He's got lines where literally like my notes are just like, he's delivering the exact, like, I mean, like, there are elements of that speech that he gives, of the 7-Eleven speech, that are, like, it's the same as Pump Up the Volume and Heathers. It's the same, like, mentality from the character. I adore it.
Grown-ups act like what you say now is going to affect you in 30 years. Like, there's going to be a 30 years from now.
And even if there was, they just want it to be a 7-Eleven on every corner.
The world sucks, man.
Yeah. Again, I love it. It's so funny.
I'm going to listen to my really bad punk music that's just a guy screaming about shit.
The other thing you got to say about it, so it's Christian Slater doing this total angsty whatever.
Wastoid?
I don't even know if I'd go that far.
Oh, no, because he has the thing later where he's like, don't smoke, it's bad for you.
Yeah,
so he's probably not even a stoner.
No, he's a total clean-cut kid, for sure.
Yeah.
It is a major motion picture, though, that feels like a made-for-TV movie.
Yes.
We have to address this.
When I was watching it, I was like, this is definitely one of those, like, midsummer movies where you're just flipping channels and you catch it at the beginning and you're like, oh, okay, cool, like, fun little skateboard movie, but then you're sitting there like, all right, what the fuck? What is this? And you keep watching it.
That's how I stumbled upon it when I was, like, 10 years old. I was literally just like, but not the middle. I totally just
got it right at the beginning.
Right at the beginning when they're skateboarding around the airport, and I was just
which is illegal, by the way.
Oh yeah, I mean everything.
Everything they do in this movie is illegal,
pretty much. But yeah, so I remember just like being a 10-year-old kid in like '94 and being like, skateboarding, fuck yeah, I'm in. And then just being like, what a wild ride I'm on right now. Where did this, and it happens so quick.
Yeah, it's like 10 minutes in and you're just like, oh shit, this is gonna get like this mob movie in the middle of this.
Yeah, it's very different than what you think you signed up for
Yakuza.
Sure. Yeah.
What would you call the Vietnamese
I don't know
mafia?
I'm I'm sure they've got a name.
Yeah, I'm sure they do, but they don't get much press.
Yeah, but so it
try harder, guys.
is a very fun movie. Like I already said, to get us here, we mentioned Tony Hawk is in it in the best possible way.
He's just
too.
in the background.
He is a random character who does have a couple lines.
He does. He's the pizza Hut delivery guy.
He's important.
Yeah,
he
has the truck.
Plot line important. Yeah, he's plot line important.
He even gets a nice fucking close up when he's driving the truck.
Yes,
he looks like a psychopath.
That is my favorite. What's one of my favorite things that
Played
happens
chicken
in the
with
movie.
the cop car.
Shh, we'll talk about it more.
Sorry,
you're okay. I'm just saying. I want to save the anticipation and build up for when it happens because it's so fucking wild.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, Tony Hawk is here. But the best part is the movie doesn't shy away from the fact that Tony Hawk exists.
Right, stickers.
Yes, they're putting Birdman stickers.
Literal Tony Hawk. One of them just says straight up Tony Hawk, and he's slapping it on the wall.
With him sitting.
You think it was him? That was his hand?
No, I know this for a fact. You can see him. Because he's in a pink t-shirt. So he's in the back in the corner while the other kid is slapping the stick. But he is there. He is sitting in frame when this kid slaps the Tony Hawk sticker.
Fuck yes.
Like, what world are we supposed to live in right now that they all know who Tony Hawk is, but none of them are commenting on the fact that their friend looks exactly like Tony Hawk?
Tony Hawk wears a helmet. This kid doesn't. Superman rules. He ain't got the helmet on, so they don't recognize him.
I will take
Birdman wears a helmet. Sammy or whatever his name is doesn't. Buddy, was it Buddy? Damn.
I don't know if that's even actually his name. That's what he's in the credit says. Like, he's there.
Buddy. I'm not your friend, buddy.
Oh my god. But yeah, so Tony Hawk is here. Other than that, I can't tell you all of the skateboarders that are here. I do know that Rodney Mullins is here. I can skateboard, as in I can roll from point A to point B. I can use it as a mode of transportation.
Yeah.
Right? I can't kick flip. I can't trafe. I can't do them. But
I can't do shit.
I have played a lot of Tony Hawk.
Me too. Played a shit ton of it.
And so Rodney Mullins always been one of my favorite skateboarders, which is the reason why I know he's here. And if you know the name, you already know who I'm talking about. And you'll know, if you watch the movie, which ones are him. Anytime you see a guy doing tricks while he's not moving.
Yeah,
if he is standing still on the board and doing like the crazy, like flipping it and spinning it while motion, like that's Rodney Mullins. That's the kind of shit he does.
Skateboard ballet, that's what I call that.
That's what I mean, that's kind of what it looks like, especially like back in the day. But on top of him, I promise you, because Tony Hawk being the way that Tony Hawk is for things like this, the reason why the people that are in the first Pro Skater are there just people that came up with him when skateboarding wasn't big.
Yeah.
And it got big. Half of the people who are doing stunts for this movie are probably people in Pro Skater.
Yeah, I could see that.
Because they're all in
I always made my own character when I played.
I mean, I know I played my own character, but I'm saying like that he became my favorite because you could unlock videos and stuff
of him doing like
doing his tricks.
Shit.
Yeah, that's
cool.
It wasn't because I used.
I never unlocked anything. I sucked at that game.
Oh, when I say I played a lot, I mean I like demolished Tony Hawk 2. I literally I broke that game. I could jump on and start doing like a manual trick and literally get millions of points.
Yeah, I couldn't do that. I kind of mashed buttons and lucked into doing things. Yeah. I liked the freestyle run where it didn't matter. Yeah. You just kind of fucked around. I could do that for hours.
I would go through all the levels and play. Yeah.
I couldn't do any of the like challenges any of that shit. Fuck that.
But so yeah, you guys know the movie. You know what we're talking about. We've already mentioned two of the people. We will go ahead and talk about a little bit more. I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't do a deep dive on the director or the writer this time.
Fuck, I didn't even look.
Because I don't know about... Well, I feel bad, but at the same time, I don't feel like these are people who... Again, the made-for-TV vibe makes me feel like these aren't people who probably did...
Yeah, they probably worked
which
on
is probably
TV.
Where we're going to feel horrible.
Yeah.
Right? Like, because we're going to say this right now. A little bit of inside for everybody that's listening. Me and Bo are the type of people. We say a lot of things, and we do look them up to verify. If you're hearing about it, it's either that we were right when we said it, or it was funny enough that we were wrong that we kept it in. When it's just dumb wrong, you guys don't hear it. So you might not actually be hearing this.
Yep.
It
might have disappeared.
If you are, though, you know that these guys didn't do anything great. We'll just get straight into the actors. As we've already said, Christian Slater and Tony Hawk. We don't need to talk about them anymore. We've both mentioned movies of Christian Slater's. I will mention this is not one of Tony Hawk's first movies. He did do Thrashing.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about that earlier.
Yeah, with Brolin. It's total skateboard.
It's what I expected this movie to be.
Well, I think it's like a toned up version of what you thought this movie was going to be.
Oh, so like some violence.
Yeah, when I say gangs, I mean actual gangs, dude. When I know I used that word to you, I meant the word gang. I didn't mean like
you hear skateboard gang.
I didn't mean like gang of kids. I meant gang. Like they are a gang. Yeah.
Okay. Who just do skateboarding shit.
Yeah.
Nice. We're gonna watch that one.
So yeah, that one is. I want to say that one might have been his first one. That one was like 85 or 86.
Does he throw down? Does he get bloody?
I don't know. I've not seen that one in a lot. Like I saw that one when I was so young. I don't remember most of it.
Don't you hate that? You just vaguely remember.
I know it exists. You know what I'm saying?
Right? It's like I know that movie's out there. I will find it.
I'll see it again. I've just had no reason. Like I didn't have
the
a
whole
podcast.
reason we started doing this. The reason to go find these movies.
I've got a podcast now, so I've got a reason to go back and look for it. Yeah, so
$5 on the Internet Archives, right?
I bet. I hope that's the true savior for all of you people that are listening to us. If you need to find some of these and you can't find them, go to Internet Archive. Literally, just type the name of movie Internet Archive.
The quality of it might be shit, but you might get to still watch it.
Yeah, probably still get to watch what you're looking. Let's go ahead and get our other actors here real quick, since we've already gone off on 2 tangents.
Yep.
All right. So, first actor that we'll mention here is our other lead? Question mark? The detective? Al Lucero.
Not Al Pacino. It's awful close.
Which is funny.
It is super funny, isn't it?
Because he is the only other thing I know him from. I'm not going to say, again, I did my research. I didn't do deep dives for everybody.
No, this is the only thing I know him from.
Yes, it's Scarface.
It's Scarface. He's Manny. Manny, you son of a bitch. Why'd you do it? Why'd you make me kill you?
It's not exactly like...
He told him in the beginning of the movie, stay away from my sister. That was the one rule.
He should have listened. He's better off in this movie.
No, I mean, never mind. We'll do Scarface one day, and I'll give you my full breakdown on how I think Tony should just calm the hell down.
Well,
Manny's actually a nice guy.
That's the whole point, though. I mean, that's kind of that's kind of the point of the movie. So, Steven Bauer is mainly known for Scarface. He's done a couple of other random, tangentially crime-related type movies. Obviously, right? Like, I mean, he's just kind of got that vibe.
He's got that voice, the look.
So, he's good at it. This was nice to see him as a cop.
Yeah,
he's a pretty really decent good cop. He's a nice guy.
Yeah, he is.
He's not like a douche cop. There's a couple of times where I'm like, all right, dude, you're kind of crossing that line you were wanting to walk of being like, I'm the good guy. Yeah, you like me. And then I was like, no, you're kind of
a dick.
Yeah. You think you're the good guy, but you cross that line at some point.
Yeah. Quit flipping my fucking ear too, asshole.
The next person we'll mention is Ed Lauter. Ed Lauter is not an actor I expect everybody to know tons of things he's in, but he has been in a few things. He played Mr. Kelly in this, so he's the dad. He is
Christian Slater's dad.
You've
seen this guy.
Vin's dad. You gotta remember, he's the dad to 2 people. Just because the kid's adopted.
It seemed like a very loving household too.
It did, for the most part. But yeah, Ed Lauter is familiar for maybe one role in particular, and that's The Longest Yard. He is the prison guard in both versions of The Longest Yard. He's the balding prison guard. Not the warden. Well, in the new one, he might be the warden, but in the old one, he's just a guard.
One of the guards.
Yeah. The main guard.
I've never seen the old one, the one with Burt Reynolds.
Oh, you should. It's good.
I've seen the one with Adam Sandler because it had Stone Cold Steve Austin.
It's literally Adam Sandler adds a couple of jokes, but largely you'd be shocked to find out it's kind of like how Psycho was. Yeah, it's kind of like a pretty closely matched up movie. A couple of other things I'll mention that Ed Lauter is in, just because, again, I did see these. No deep dives. I just saw it.
Just cursory came upon, right?
Well, in the top 4, you might know them from. So his other ones are going to be Cujo.
Oh, really?
And, you thought, oh, really on that one? Wait.
Oh.
the Rocketeer.
Shut up! Who is he in the Rocketeer?
I didn't look at the name.
That's
Dude,
awesome.
No deep dives.
Now
no
we got to
deep
do the
dives.
we got to do the Rocketeer now, so we can find out. That's our mission.
Well, you find the beer.
We got to find a beer. All we need is a beer with like a rocket ship on it. That's all we need.
Rocket Pack. Come on, let's at least give him a little bit.
Jetman.
There you go. But yeah, so I mean, he is someone you've seen. You've seen him in a few places for sure. That's the main point I wanted to make.
Yeah. Can you tell I like the Rocketeer?
Our next one that I think, again, this isn't a guy that I expect tons of people to know. I recognize him when I see him in things. Max Perlich. I don't know how you would pronounce the name. He played Yabo.
Whistler
From Buffy.
From Buffy.
He is also in several other like TV or made for TV type movies, playing like the same guy, like the not so dorky sidekick. Like he could easily have been the main guy. He's just not the main guy, but he always plays that. He's never,
and he always ends up being like important later on.
Yeah. You know, he's never gets to be the main guy. Even though again, like I don't see anything wrong with like he's could play the main guy. He's not like he's not the dorky sidekick. He's just always the sidekick.
I think it was that gap in his teeth.
I don't know what it was.
You know how Hollywood fucking is. Like, oh, it's good. You would be perfect, but we'd have to fix your teeth.
Either way, I think he got a lot of shit for no reason.
Yeah, no, dude, I loved him. Dude. He was great in this.
He's great.
He fucking
most things he's in.
Busts the fuck out of his skull here in a minute too, when we actually start the movie.
Well, we are almost there. So,
and a cool nickname. Why can't I get a cool nickname? Give me a cool nickname. People in the internet. Oh shit! I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, you're not gonna get like the worst. You are not gonna get a cool
the worst
nickname now.
Fucking nicknames ever.
That's not how that works, dude.
Oh no.
The last two people we'll mention real quick, or just so that way we can say them. We got Richard Hurd as Lawndale. He is definitely legendary. He's in all kinds of things. He is at those guys. We're not going to hit all the points. You guys know us with those guys. We just tell you the ones that we can pop off the top of our head.
Remember the face.
I can't
You'll
think
see it again.
You'll see him for sure. He's played
especially
grandpas.
Especially like late 80s, early 90s movies. You're going to find him in almost everything.
But so, yeah, that's the main reason we want to mention him is just because he is one of those people you'll definitely see his face and be like, oh, I've definitely seen him in something.
Same thing with Brian's mom. I don't know who she is, but she's like...
She wasn't even listed in the main
right.
IMDb
like I'm like,
page.
but I'm like, I have seen this lady in so much playing moms.
The last person that I've got to mention real quick is just because he is important to the plot. We have to mention him. Vin.
The story doesn't happen without
Vin. Exactly, for several reasons. Vin is played by Art Chudabala. I have no idea. Again, guys, you know me. I am trying my best. I'm not saying this in a way.
We nailed the other ladies.
The British stuff. So like we've
just go for it.
It was confirmed for
confidence.
Us. Yeah. So I'm gonna assume that I said that right. If I didn't, tell me. I will correct myself. I'm not above that.
Yeah, on the next episode we'll just say it.
I'm not purposefully trying to mispronounce anything. That's the main point I want to make.
We only do that if we don't like you.
So if you heard me say it and not make one of these pause moments to be like, then I don't like you.
Yeah, if we just, very smart-assly
just
say
said it
something,
and kept going.
Yeah.
You know why. You know why.
You know we don't like you.
All right.
That's hard to find, right? Like you have to have done something actually in the real world for me to be like, all right, maybe I don't like you.
All right, I think we are ready to go ahead and get into everything.
Yeah, let's go.
The last thing, or I guess the first thing as we're getting into this, I want to mention is, I don't know about you, but to me, again, like we already said, this could be a made-for-TV movie, right?
Yeah, it's like the made-for-TV movie with a slightly higher budget.
Right. So to me, if we're going to go the made-for-TV movie line, like the tagline-ish thing for this is like badass skateboarder out to avenge his brother with or without the cops. Right? Like you to me,
you hear the voice, like the TV guide synopsis when you're sitting there looking, you're like, oh, that sounds interesting.
Like that's to me, that's exactly what it would have been. Like you would have heard
Netflix would fuck it up. It'd just be like Vietnamese kid gets killed, skateboarder tries to help.
I like the way I did it, and I feel like at the time that's how they would have done it. They would not have mentioned that because it is important. It's not even. I mean, it is something in the movie. I would say it's neither important or unimportant.
Yeah.
Right? Because we could easily have substituted
anybody,
Vietnamese and where the stuff was going.
right? For any other country.
places. It just
could have been going to Mexico.
Yeah, it just happens to be where they chose.
Maybe not Canada. I don't really. Does Canada need medical supplies? I don't know. No, I don't think they do.
But you get what I mean.
Yeah.
It was a fairly safe way to go.
Especially at 89. It's like, what, 10 years after we pulled out?
Something. I don't even know. But yeah, it was a weird choice, if you ask me, to go with, but it is a choice that had no impact on anything.
Yeah.
So kudos to them, and that's why my synopsis didn't point it out, because they wouldn't have.
Yep, they wouldn't.
They would have wanted you to know.
Netflix would have definitely made sure.
They would have highlighted
it would have been in the like Vietnamese pride section on its own.
And again, it's not a focus.
Yeah, it's not even like a focus of the movie.
It's just it is one random fact in the information of the movie, right? Like, it's not important.
Yeah. Could have just as easily been sending them to
he could
Somalia.
Have just he could easily have just been an American adopted brother who was from the South with like weirdly religious parent. You know what I mean? Like, there's 1,000 ways this could have gone. I give them credit for not trying to like play it up. Like, they just put it in there. They blew right past it, and because they wanted it to feel normal, right? They were like, this is a normal American family.
And it is a thing that did happen. American families adopted a lot of Vietnamese war orphans and brought them over here.
So
that's why you end up with towns like Little Vietnam and shit.
Yep. And so again, total kudos to them, because 89 was not necessarily a time where you'd see a ton of people do that in a movie.
They didn't shine a big ass flashlight on it. Like, make sure you pay attention to this part. See? See how progressive we are?
You would either expect to see that, or you would expect to see just like them not care at all and show them totally have like whitewashed this kid, but played it up like it wasn't a big deal that's what they had done to him. But these parents are really good.
Yeah, no, they're like, his room and shit's even like set up with like Vietnamese shit.
Yeah, they're respectful of his culture. They've tried to help make sure he keeps in touch with his culture. They're not mad at him for going.
Seemed like he still had family in Vietnam because they had pictures of other people.
They're not mad at him for going to get the job
in Little Vietnam.
Yeah, I mean, so like, these parents were very hip, very with it, very good,
very nice parents. Brian's just angsty teen for no reason.
On that note, we can officially start.
Yeah, let's start the movie. Start the movie. It starts off pretty fun. We got to start off with
the weird. Before we even get to the music, the weird 80s-fied laser etch fucking logo thing, dude.
It's awesome.
It is, but
it's like rotoscoped fucking laser lights going around and shit.
For a movie that came out in 89, that was the most 80s thing I've ever seen. Like
that was like early 80s looking too, right?
It was so nuts.
That helps with the made for TV
it
image.
Does. Like, I knew going into this like what kind of movie we were coming for, but I'm sure since you had never seen it, seeing that you were like, what the fuck is
right, I was
2 seconds in, you were like, what did he sign me up for? What is this?
I was sitting there, I was like, did this like 80s version of Brink, you know, the Disney movie with the rollerbladers?
Yeah. It is.
So it starts off that way too. Almost.
It is very wild for sure. The opening song,
"Gleaming the Cube."
Gleaming the Cube.
Because you do that in the 80s. You just gotta name the movie in your song,
or the song, or you pay somebody to make a song named after the movie. Yeah. But you make sure like there is gonna be the tie-in there,
and
right?
It's the most 80s song ever. And "Gleaming the Cube." Dun, 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 dun.
I absolutely love it. And then we see them literally just skating around the airport.
Yep.
Whole gang of them.
The John Wayne Airport. Thank you very much. There's a giant statue of the Duke outside. Let's pay some respect.
I wasn't too worried about it because
funny. The movie opens on the Duke.
See, that's what your eyes focused on. My eyes focused on the bad wig on the fucking stunt double for Christian Slater, and I couldn't take my eyes off of it, so I didn't notice anything else.
It's, when it finally does show actually like Christian Slater, the hair is like 4 inches shorter than the wig that they put on the guy. Makeup department should have fucking tried harder with the fucking whole. It's super long on the stunt guy.
Okay, it's super long, and my theory is they put the wig onto a super thin helmet.
Oh, like one of those like leather football helmets
or something, right? And so he's wearing a helmet,
just so,
and the wig is on top of it.
Insurance and shit, I get it, but fuck, it's really bad, drastically different. It's super bad.
Like, it not only are the colors not matched,
Yeah.
the height, like you said, the height is different. Like Christian Slater's hair is tall. I'm not playing.
Yeah, it's like
this
spiky
hair
and
is like
cool.
crazy tall. It looks like a square.
It looks like a
mound
cartoon character fucking
on his
hair,
head.
right?
It is too much. But so we see them skate all across the airport. We're like, what the fuck's going on? Because this is not like a closed airport.
No,
There
there's
are planes
like dodging
everywhere.
planes and shit.
And so we're like, what's going on? They finally get to the pilot and they're just talking to him. We still don't know what's going on. He's like, I paid you $80.
Come
You
on,
do this
man.
for
Like
us.
I know pilot licenses are expensive. We're subsidizing you. Like, and he's like, no, dude, I called you. We're not doing this today.
Oh, come on. Just one of you. And we see all four of
all
them.
fucking four of them. The pilot's even like, why am I doing this?
We still
Why the
don't
fuck am I
know what
doing this?
they're doing yet.
No.
This is the first
Fucking
moment.
Christian Slater has a map and shit. And it's like,
They're
what the
flying
fuck's going
over-
on?
This is also the moment that you already
the
mentioned
stickers.
when the stickers start coming out. There's sticker bombing the
so
shit out
pissed.
of the inside
I'd
of
be
this
so
plane.
pissed if I was that pilot.
But yeah, this is also Tony Hawk watch number 1. He was the pink shirt guy outside. He's the pink shirt guy in the back right corner of the airplane.
Right by the Tony Hawk sticker.
No, opposite side.
Oh, is it on the other side?
Yeah, the guy that's sitting beside him slapped the sticker, so he's on the.
Ah, okay. It's almost like they did it so you know. Look, it's Tony Hawk.
Oh, that's what I'm telling you, dude. It's 100%.
Literally label him smack
Birdman, because again, like he slaps the Tony Hawk sticker, but the other guy's
just
hand
like
is coming off of the Birdman sticker. And so it's just like, can we advertise for Tony Hawk any more than right now?
Side note, I bet you one of those stickers now would be
dude.
super pricey.
For sure. Like an
That's
original one.
Yeah, that's a collector's item at this point.
Once they start flying around, we finally get an idea of what
the fuck they're doing, and it's brilliant.
It's brilliant, but at the same time, dude, $80.89 money is
That's
a
a lot.
of money
That's
just
a
to
lot.
find a place to skate
Just
for
to,
like
just
5
to recon
hours.
an empty pool to
Right?
skate in.
For like 5 hours. Again, like if this was something that they could guarantee they'd have like weeks worth of skating at, $80 down.
You think they're like just like are marking it for like future reference, just getting all of them?
Well,
But then there's no
they
way to
mention a
guarantee
couple
it'd
of
still
them.
be even.
So
empty.
first we have to actually clearly tell people what they were
Oh
doing.
yeah, we still haven't done that.
We just started going off ourselves. So they're looking at they're looking for pools. They're looking for empty pools to be able to
skate
go do some kick-ass shredding. Right?
Gotta rip it up.
And so like they're like, oh, we can't do that one. There's too many construction workers. We can't do that
Oh,
one.
I can't do that one. It's got like a foot of water in the deep end.
But so that's the thing though, like this is something where it's going to be 5 hours worth of skating. Like I wish it would be something that they were scoping out for later use, but like literally the one they go to finally, it's pristine.
Yes. It's almost new.
It is new.
Oh,
well,
is it?
It's newly sealed. That's what that.
Oh,
when-
yeah,
After he goes like, you know how much a brand new seal costs, and so
A lot, actually. I work in a hotel.
And so that's the thing about that is like that was literally like days from having water in it. So they paid $80 for 1 3-hour skate session. That's intense. Even if you're splitting that
Damn,
between
you
the
could just
5
go to
of
like
them.
one of those big skate parks for way less than that for that much.
Well, back then there probably wouldn't have been too
Oh
many
yeah,
of
there probably
those.
wouldn't have been any. Yeah,
There would have been outdoor, public ones, but there wouldn't have been like a ton of like
paid to skate
big
places.
ass building. Yeah. They finally make it back to their pool that they spotted out, and they're skating. Everybody, this is the first time you see it, and it will become more and more prevalent the more the movie goes on. Everybody else wears knee pads.
Yep.
That's like the only
That's it.
safety pad you see.
There's
right?
one kid doesn't have shit.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like yeah.
But most of them though have on knee pads. Christian fucking Slater has on every piece of safety gear you can find. He has a helmet.
He doesn't have the chest plate.
Well, because nobody skateboards with that. But I mean, like, dude's got fucking elbows. He's got the
wrist
guards. He's got fucking knee pads. He might have had shin guards. I don't know.
More people should wear the wrist guards. They actually make pretty good like boxing
Well, I
gloves.
mean, they should wear them anyway. It is safe. I'm not trying to knock the safety aspect, but I'm making the point that it is outrageous that they couldn't get this man to learn how to do enough of anything that he felt
at least a
comfortable
drop in
without the helmet on.
right?
Just, and again, safety first. I'm not saying you
I
should
get
do
it.
it without a helmet. But when everybody else in the scene is doing it literally at best knee pads on, and you're there wearing more clothes than everybody because they needed him to be angsty, right? So he's got the giant baggy jean jacket thing,
and the army jacket or the
he's
pants
wearing
and shit.
the pads on top of the jackets, dude.
Extra padding. He's a soft boy.
But you get my point. This dude looks ridiculous because he couldn't just like commit to learn the simplest of tricks to make it work for like
if I'm doing a skateboard movie, I'm at least learning the basics
for one.
For
like
one at least how to drop in
for one good transition
for
shot.
like just that one shot, and then you can cut. Bring the stunt guy in; he'll do the kickflip or whatever.
Christian Slater couldn't do that, and that's
it's automatically just stunt guy.
Anytime that, well, again, and if it's not stunt guy, you can tell when it's really Christian Slater because of how much pads is on him. Stunt guy is a giveaway because there's never a helmet on stunt guy, and it's the bad pig.
Toward the end of the movie, that one scene where they have the actual shot, like his full body, and he's going down the street. He's got the helmet, pads, every fucking
That's
thing.
What I'm saying.
It's the only shot in the movie of him actually skating, I think.
Well, there's a couple, but it's always random. But if you see a scene where he's in full, like his character is in full helmet too, then at some point in that shot, Christian Slater was there.
Yep, he was actually skating.
Because they had to make the whole stunt double do it because Christian Slater, for the half second, had to have the helmet on. So then they had to put it on the stunt double. Any other time, you see the wig, and you know.
The big, long fucking wig. Dude, no, there's a point in this movie where you could definitely tell that they just went, "Hey, Tony, go do this bit," and they slapped that fucking wig on his head.
Let's get back to our pool, though.
Yeah, back to the pool. Poor Yabo.
That's what I was gonna say.
Poor Yabo takes a tumble. Cracks it bad, dude. Did you see the blood spatter on the side of that pool? I was surprised.
Well, I want to say first off 2 things about that. He did not hit hard enough.
I know.
For that.
How do you think he hit his head? He like landed on his shoulder.
Nobody in the scene is reacting
like he did
that is what just happened.
No, they were just like, "Oh man, he fell."
Fuck, Christian Slater is just barely like he's just talking to him like it's a normal day.
Oh,
Yabo,
you fell. Get the fuck up.
Right? Like I was like, whoa. When they transition to the next moment and show the blood splatter and him getting on the gurney with that bandage,
huge bandage,
dude, it's like half
soaked.
his head, dude. I was like, that is not what we just witnessed.
No,
both in action and in reaction.
Maybe he broke his arm.
Right?
But
yeah, action, reaction, none of it was what we just saw happen. Like, I was like, this is so insane. We do, though, from this get introduced to Lucero?
Yeah.
Why is this our introduction to what is later?
Why are there detectives on this?
Because he's a homicide cop.
Yeah. Him and his partner. Why the fuck did they get this call?
Why are they here for someone breaking in and skating in a pool?
Slow day, and they were the closest? I guess.
And plot.
Yep. Because
like
plot, yes.
But
the writer says so.
On top of that, it's super wild because they play the scene like Lucero knows Brian.
Yeah, like he's known him forever too.
Because he's joking with him in a way.
Yeah,
like he does.
You know, you're gonna get in trouble with it. He even like walks up and does the ear flip fucking thing.
And so it's just like, but later on we get the clear, definite. They don't know each other because he's like, why did you buddy up with me, right? And he's like, because we're both screw ups. But so like right now, you would definitely think they've known each other. Like he's a cop who's always come and broke them up from skateboarding.
Yeah, and they say screw up later. I maintain it's originally fuck up.
I know. Well, when we get to the screw up, you can go on your diatribe.
I'm a bitch. I'm a bitch.
But we're not there. Wait.
All right.
I'm going to give you full diatribe time. When we get to the screw up,
I am
fuck
calm.
up, screw up, fuck up. When
Screw
we
up,
get
fuck
there,
up,
you can talk about it.
Just the bad 80.
When we get there,
All
we're not far.
I'm okay. I'm calm. Continue.
But yeah, so we see them gurney off poor Yabo.
Poor Yabo Whistler Yabo.
This is also when we see that. Oh, one thing I forgot we needed to mention because it's important and it's foreshadowed so much. When they were in the plane, Tony Hawk told them he saw his Pizza Hut.
Yeah, his Pizza Hut. Just so you know, there's a sponsorship for this movie.
Yeah, that's the only reason I had to go back and that's not important.
That's my Pizza Hut there. Shows the aerial view of it.
It's not important, but it is something that is foreshadowed many times.
Will agree. Pizza Hut was way better in the early 90s.
Well, that building, like seeing that version
that
of the building,
with it looked like a hat.
It gave you happy like feelings. Okay, sorry guys, we're all over the place.
The red cups.
This beer is strong.
Yes, it is. Jesus.
You might be noticing we're a little all over the place.
9.5 my ass. This is a straight 10.
Okay. Let's get back on track. Sorry.
Yes.
After my
Back
random Pizza
back
Hut.
to poor.
Look, the movie was bad with product placement. I had to be with bad product placement.
Try Wingman.
But so after we see Yabo getting wheeled off, we get to go finally see Brian's home, right?
And it's super nice.
And the first time you get to find out that this movie is secretly about Vietnamese adoptions.
Yep. And like anti-communist fucking movements.
Which is good.
Shit.
No, we should be anti-communist.
Totally good. They were going about it the wrong way though.
Well, and again, it was only here because this was still during Cold War era, right? Like it's a reminder of what era we're in. Yeah. But yeah, so as soon as we pan into Brian's house, the first thing we see is like we clearly can tell it's Brian's house because we see the white dad
and
Brian,
his mom, I guess,
and mom, and like Brian's like halfway coming through the door, but then in the corner of the shot,
there's this Vietnamese
kid.
Vin
working on the computer.
Yeah, just sitting there typing away, acting like it's totally normal. It's like,
it is.
Hey, Dad, just give him a fucking
give him a break.
Okay, I need more explanation.
Give him a break, Dad. You know he deals with a lot of other stuff too.
I like that Vin takes his side.
I love the relationship this
dude,
movie sets up between
like legit bros.
Vin and Brian. Again, even though the parents act like they're not close, they are the closest.
They have an ongoing chess game that's just in their
for
room
months, right?
I
like
love
long time thinking about moves. Yes,
right?
Dude. So yeah, exactly.
Because they go in the room and it's
yeah,
like,
oh,
you moved.
We transition from the family room of the shock. That's literally the only moment.
Right. It's just like,
the only reason there's
an Asian kid.
It's to be like, here's a split-second shock value, right? But then the rest of the movie after that shock value is set to be like, no, this is normal and you should view it as normal. They go into the room.
They would say something about like, oh, it's been 11 years, man. You're not my problem.
Well, no, and this is so nuts. Like you said, they go into the room. These two are sharing a fucking bedroom. Can we address that? They are like 17, 18.
Yeah,
they are definitely at the end of
they're
high
like
school,
seniors.
Sharing a bedroom. This is such an 80s sitcom thing that doesn't exist today.
No.
Siblings,
there's no way. 4 years old.
I don't care.
I want my own room.
Well, and I don't care how big the room is. Like the idea of siblings sharing a room anymore, even same sex, past teenage years.
Yeah, no.
Is crazy, right? Can you think of like anything we watched? Like Full House.
Yeah, everybody had their own room.
Was the closest because they shared.
Michelle was in.
Well, no, that's what I was gonna say. They shared a room, but they always change it once teenage years.
Yeah, once you hit a certain.
DJ and Stephanie
moved out
shared it, and
there was a whole fucking episode about it.
That's what I'm saying.
Because Michelle was like super upset about it.
Teenagers never shared rooms.
Why do I remember that?
Because it's our childhood.
Yeah.
Teenagers never shared rooms, though. That's my point.
That's true. I got my own room when I turned like 12.
So that's
so did Dakota.
Like, this was such an 80s concept of like, you're going to share a room until you leave this house, right? Like, and it was wild because they both have like decent sized beds.
This is a huge room.
Well, it's a huge room, and because of their beds, though, it feels like there's not that much space between them. Like when if you see them for
it's almost like a hotel room. It's got like the two twins.
One time during this scene when you see them both like have their legs off of the bed, like looking at each, you're like, dude, they're like practically touching each other right now.
Literally, it's the width of the chessboard.
I know it. I'm like that. Like it is a big room. Both beds fit.
Yeah,
but that is an uncomfortable space that's between them.
Bro, you're too close to me. Your knees are touching me. Sit back.
I also love this scene. Like you said, the chessboard's there. It shows us this, like, again, like I said, the movie wants us to see this as all American. This is not, hey, there's a Vietnamese kid. This is, hey, we're all American. We were raised here, right?
Yep.
And so, like, the funniest part about the movie is that Vin is the more all-American kid.
He really is.
He is the one who's doing
like
good
hard
in school.
Working,
He
does
works
his
hard.
schoolwork.
He has a girlfriend who comes and taps on the window, and he sneaks out to go with her. That is so all-American.
It is, isn't it?
He's the one that's wearing the sweater. Now the funny thing is, to me and Bo, all-American is Christian Slater.
Yeah, no, it's like,
It's
no,
the
that's more like I looked in high
it's
school.
the half angsty kid who doesn't actually have a reason to be as angsty as he
Anarchy.
is. Right? Like, that to me, that's real Americana.
Right.
But that being said, in the 80s, as we've already talked, Space Camp, as we've already talked about.
That one kid.
Right? In 80s Americana is 100% Vin, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like it's still that era where you
the
want to
only
pretend.
difference is he doesn't have like the crew cut.
Yes. He's actually kind of rocking the MacGyver.
Yeah, a little bit. He's got the little mullet going. Looks
Right?
nice. I had that back in the day.
Well, it was a very 80s look for sure.
Oh, it's making a comeback.
I know.
Have you seen all the kids with fucking mullets?
Look,
I love it.
If they want to rock a real mullet, I'm for it. The weird pseudo, like,
oh,
you know what I'm talking about, where they just shave the
poof.
where there's no length really.
Yeah.
They just shave the
sides.
I'm like, that's
you gotta
not a
have
mullet.
at least down to your shoulders, and you gotta have a little bit of a coif.
It has to come off the neckline,
Yes.
right? Like it literally has to have length past where your neck hair.
Exactly. You should be able to turn it into a rat tail
if needed.
really easily.
Ponytail. If you can't also ponytail it, it's not a mullet.
Facts.
Okay.
Look up Shawn Michaels, 1994. Perfect mullet.
Yeah, this beer's too good. We need to keep.
Fuck yeah, it is. Goddamn. As I keep drinking.
Well, as we both. It's okay.
As we both drink.
We just both need to keep going. All right. After the scene is done, though, like I've already mentioned, his girlfriend comes, Tina. She comes to the window. She comes to whisk him away for the night, letting us see again. He is both as all-American as it can get.
Oh yeah, even to the sneaking out and doing what he ain't supposed to.
So it's the funny part of where he's like the most all-American he can get, even though he is still breaking the rules. Like,
and he smokes later too.
Well, that one's a little pushing it, right? Because this breaking the rules is that breaking the rules where you're like, oh, but that's okay. Like that's what we expect you to do.
Especially when your bedroom's on the first floor and you can just go out the window and ain't got to climb down nothing.
After this, though, we get to see. It's just more of him, right?
Yeah, he goes to work.
He goes to work the next day. What a weird transition from him sneaking out to going to work.
Being a rebel badass to responsible.
Well, did he go from her place to work? Did he go from home to work? We know he definitely did.
Yeah.
He's not that kind of kid.
No.
But because of the transition, it's misleading.
It is. It's like he went out, partied all night. Now he's just cruising into work with a hangover.
Especially once we find out where he works, which is for his girlfriend's dad. And you're like, holy shit.
Who used to be a colonel in the South Vietnamese army, apparently.
My notes are just colonel.
Yeah,
I don't call him
Colonel
anything
Track.
else. I don't even do that.
This is a guy you don't want to fuck with.
I just call him the colonel in my notes. He's just the colonel.
I call him Track. I thought that was funny. Track's tracking right now.
Yeah, so we see him. He rides up on his sweet moped to work, though.
Dude, yeah.
Can we talk about that?
I love this moped.
It's
fucking
dope.
Like cherry red, sweet little fucking moped.
I hate that we don't get it for more of the movie.
Dude, it disappears.
Well, right?
But like nobody ever like says anything about it.
Shouldn't Brian have been driving it?
Yeah.
After
or
Vin
at least
passed
the
away?
cops should have been like, well, it's weird that it's there.
Yeah, I agree. So once we see Vin at work, this is where it becomes even more problematic for me, though, right? Like, so we see Vin, he's at work, he's working in the back room, he's looking at numbers, he's
going over inventory and shit.
We had the split second where we saw the colonel out front and Bobby, from the minute you see him. From the minute you see him,
he's
you're
an
just
asshole.
He's a tool,
right? Like he sees fucking Vin, he's like, "Hey, I saw a guy who doesn't believe your last name is Kelly. You got an American.
Trying to give him shit for
you have an American last name.
Yeah,
you're not really Vietnamese.
So dumb, right?
He's an asshole.
Yeah, he is 100%. So we see, like I said, we get to see that Vin is working in the back doing these numbers. He comes out front and he starts talking to the colonel about the numbers. Bobby, again, douchehead standing in the corner listening, even though it has nothing in. Well, we find out later has something maybe
to do with it.
But for the most part, probably
He's
not.
He's probably just a goon.
Right. Well, he definitely is.
Just an enforcer, leg breaker.
This was so crazy though, because when Vin brings up these numbers, right? and he's talking about how the discrepancy 5,200. We don't even
500 pounds for cotton balls.
Well, this is funny because when he writes it and we see it, it's 5,200. We don't know if it's dollars, if it's pounds, if it's cents,
nothing. It's just a random equation.
But he comes out front and he's like, it's a 5,200 pound difference, right? 500 pounds just in the cotton balls, this, that,
yeah,
the other.
And apparently
$500,000.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was like $500,000 discrepancy.
After he says these lines, though, the colonel then says, "Man, I think after working here only 2 weeks,
I need some more
you're looking
experience.
too hard into this.
Yeah, you need to chill.
At 2 weeks in, why the fuck is this kid doing the books?
Right? Should that be something shouldn't that be Bobby's job? He seems like Bobby's been there for way longer, right?
Well, I mean, in a legitimate business, in 2 weeks, the kid shouldn't be doing the books.
Especially since he's like, what, a senior in high school?
But a crooked business,
fuck no.
You certainly shouldn't let
Hell
a kid
no.
be doing
My
the books.
right-hand man is handling my books.
Fuck, the colonel is a dumbass.
Fuck, if we ever get into a criminal enterprise, you handle the books.
That's fine.
There you go.
It certainly won't be a high school kid. I promise you that.
We'll get my nephew. We'll get James to do it. He's like, what, 6th grade? It'll be fine. It'll be fine. He's learned enough math.
Sounds good to me.
Won't ever be a problem.
Through this scene, though, we get to find out it's Westpac Medical Supplies, right? Like, at first, we just see the WSM, but then when he confronts the colonel, as we find out,
because he thinks that they're the ones that are screwing him over.
He tells him, he's like, yeah, it's this.
They're
Westpac.
probably fucking us, man. Like, these numbers don't add up. It seems like
they're the ones that are giving us the things that don't make sense. Yeah,
right. And the colonel's just like,
you need to leave it alone.
Yeah, we're going to put somebody more experienced on this. You just go home.
On his way out the door, Vin does the smartest thing ever.
But
also the thing that lets you know this, again, gives it the made-for-TV movie vibe.
Oh, dude, this is the point where I was immediately like, okay, maybe this isn't going to be the kind of movie I thought it was.
This isn't the carefree, fun
Yeah, I was
ride.
like, this wasn't going to be like the skaters against like
skating off.
They're going to try and like tear down our skate park. We got to stop them. You know, that's what I was ready for.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready for like, like anti-communist government conspiracy bullshit going on.
But so this is the moment though when he is told he has to leave, right? He rips that notepad, the paper out. Like I said, this feels very made for TV because that's the moment where you're like, oh, so this is all important.
Yeah.
Right? Like, because in a made
it's not just his
movie,
job.
They have to telegraph to you why things are important, and like him ripping it and
very
taking it with
pointedly.
Him. Yeah.
They did everything but close up.
I bet
on
you that
him
will
doing
come
it.
into play again later.
Yeah. If it had been an actual made for TV, they would have close upped on him tearing it out of the book, right? So you made sure you saw it.
After this is done, we see him leave, storm off. He's got the papers with him. Cut to Brian
making a dope ass sandwich. You see this thing?
This was the most 80s fucking sitcom scene I have ever seen.
Yeah.
Because it's Brian in a nice big house,
right?
Making a nice big meal.
Like fucking Scooby-Doo sandwich,
right?
Man.
Mom walks in and she's just like, look at that thing on your elbow. Bet you got that from skating.
You should really have some new pads.
Well, no, it's so funny.
They're expensive, Mom.
Well, it's not even that for me. That's where it ends, and it's so fucking crazy 80s. But like the part where she points out the wound is so funny to me because she's like, I bet that came from skating. And it's just like, do you see that thing? If it's not from skating and you don't know what it's from, you're a horrible human being.
Right, you're a terrible mom. It's either from skating or your son's a UFC fighter.
Right, like, you're not doing your job.
Right, you're not paying any fucking attention.
Like, playing that scene up as it was funny for her to say that and not like it was maybe worrying for her to say that is what was so crazy to me. Yes, then she brings out the
my
pads.
Notes I have written down, I was just like, Mom's Kirk Cameron moment.
Oh, dude, it was so crazy.
Because it is. It's totally from like...
yes.
Wow, fuck,
Growing Pains.
Sitcom? Growing Pains,
I've just been saving you left and right this episode. This scene was so insane, though, because while she's saying this to him, like you said, it was so wholesome, dorky. Like, I can't afford them.
Gee, Mom, I'll have to work more on my paper route.
But beyond how dorky all of that was, in the middle of it, he acts like he doesn't wear all of the pads.
Right, he does. He's like, oh, I don't wear it. They're expensive and dumb.
We have seen nothing but Christian Slater's character because Christian Slater wouldn't learn to skate.
The only
wear
piece,
everything.
There might be...
There's the split second in the beginning where you see the wig. That's it.
Like he doesn't have a helmet for one shot.
For that one shot. But every other time we see him, he's got a helmet on too. So it is so crazy for him to be in the scene being like, I don't normally wear those because I can't afford them. It's like, I have seen nothing but you wear those. What are you talking about?
Lying motherfucker. But Mom, she pulls out that nice shit, doesn't she, dude?
Well, that's what he says. He tells us it's all top of the line.
Yeah, it's the most expensive stuff. Seen. Because Mom actually likes seeing him skate.
She shouldn't tell him that.
She really should. She shouldn't. She shouldn't encourage such things. Fuck yes, you should. I liked that though. She's just like, I like seeing you skate. You're graceful. I'm not. All
then
that
Brian
shit.
heads on into his bedroom. This is that part where you alluded to earlier.
Yeah,
maybe Vin's not as clean cut as he ought to be.
Right, because he's sitting there just smoking a cigarette,
and I don't want to
thinking about his bad day at work.
And I don't want to be this person, but if you have ever watched any movie about war in Vietnam, he is 100% smoking this cigarette in the most stereotypically Vietnamese way I've ever seen. And I, again,
as a guy who watched a lot of Vietnam War movies,
right? Like
I can attest.
I'm not trying. This isn't a racist thing. This is literally
just how Vietnamese people smoke cigarettes. It literally
is the forefinger plus the middle finger.
Yeah,
right? Like you do a little bit of all of it and pull it back and forth. French too, and it's because French were.
It was a French colony forever. Yeah, it might make sense.
Like that's where I'm pretty sure it all comes from.
I would imagine the French are the ones who introduced them to tobacco.
Probably.
Now that I think about it,
so
that's a different podcast entirely.
But like I understand where it can come from, and I'm not trying to point it out other than the fact that it is one of those things like you can't not see. When the scene started, did you not feel it? Were you not like
smoking like
he looks
Frenchman.
like he's committing a war crime?
It's like
in 5 minutes?
Fucking Casablanca, the French cop, the way he'd smoke his cigarettes.
Like I said, I would forgive you if you would have been thinking he was about to commit a war crime, the way he's smoking that cigarette.
It was very stereotypical.
When he walks in, though, Brian immediately rips into him.
Do that. It's good. Give you cancer.
Gee, smoking's bad for you.
So he's clearly like a straight edge punk, right?
I guess so.
We never really see him do anything.
No, never.
There's no alcohol or anything in this movie, really.
Either, though. So I mean, it's not fair for us to make that call.
It's a little odd for an '80s movie, isn't it?
It is. During the scene, though, we get my favorite thing, and I want to make sure we talk about it because if I know us, especially with that much we'll skate past it if I don't say it before I forget. This is when we get the angst moment.
Oh yeah, this is where he's all the everything's gonna end in nuclear war.
It's all brought on by Vin though. Vin's the cause for it because Vin looks at him. He's like, "You guys are right.
You don't trust grown-ups, do you?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, grown-ups suck. They think that what you say now is gonna affect who you are in 30 years."
Literally, all that's missing to make this a truly made-for-TV fucking moment would have been the fucking sad, somber music
the
queued
piano,
up behind him as he was
piano
giving the
music.
Speech. Like, we didn't get that, but it is the kind of speech in a made-for-TV movie that would have had it.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yes, you know what I mean? It's it's sad and depressing, but uplifting at the same time. It was so ridiculous, but it is definitely.
Watch Family Matters. I know this. I know that tune.
It's so true though.
It
right?
is. It's totally. It needs to be there.
You can feel it, like the way it's
especially
shot.
Especially when fucking Vin's just like. You wouldn't understand, lights his cigarette back up.
I was trying to say, what's so funny is he puts it out when he first comes in the room, and then he randomly lights it back up, and you're just like, why?
Right.
Why did
you
we
just
do that?
put one out, dude.
Put it out. Yeah, why did
you should have been like, oh, it's just my brother, and kept fucking smoking, right?
No, of course not. But yeah, this is we get the 7-Eleven thing from the speech.
Yeah, the 7-Eleven, and everything's gonna end in nuclear war, man.
7-Eleven on every corner. That's how they'd have their future. If we made it that far.
Fuck adults.
Right?
Oh, wait, I am an adult.
Well, and again, this scene is so outrageous because he is so angsty for a kid who is living in a nice suburban California home.
The nicest fucking California suburban
His mom
home.
is so nice. His dad is loving. He feels...
His dad even gets him out of jail later.
Well, he feels like he's been shafted. Like this scene especially, right? And some of the stuff we've seen earlier, they play it off like he feels shafted by having the adopted brother, sibling.
Yeah.
Which again, later in the movie, they definitely make sure he did not.
Yeah,
he never
didn't.
felt like that at all.
He hints at it here. He's like,
Yes,
man, that was like 11 years ago. You're not my problem.
But at the same time, they also still try to play it up.
Feel like he's lying a little bit.
And so there is no problem between them. But yeah, that's the thing I want to say. Like, that's how clean cut this family is.
Right.
This family was able to adopt
a war orphan
into the family
who apparently was old enough to still remember his mom because he has the picture.
And
later.
They are still the most well-adjusted American family I've ever seen in my life.
Brian's just being a pissy asshole.
Brian is just angsty for angsty's fucking
just
sake.
To be angsty because it's cool,
right? Oh.
I can't. We all kind of did it. It's fine.
Well, this is 89 on the verge of 90s. Like, this is like grunge era fucking angst.
Oh, yeah,
before
dude.
Like it really got mainstream, right? Like, it's so crazy.
Just and right before Nirvana, right?
And not what you would associate with skateboarders at the time either. Like, skateboarders at the time this was like day glow time. This was
dude, like everybody's wearing like neon and shit.
It's so crazy.
I had the bright orange fucking clothes.
It's so crazy, this combination. In the middle of this conversation they're having, though, something. This is one of those few times, like, normally when you see a conversation in a movie like this, right, where they have a talk and, like, what they're talking about gives the realization moment to one
it's
character.
Like foreshadowing.
You can understand it. Did you understand what made him click?
No.
Me neither, but something made
All
Vin.
it was is Vin's just like, I know my math wasn't wrong.
No, that's it.
I better go break into a fucking huge medical complex.
That's exactly what my notes say. My notes are like, they weren't talking about math, but something Brian just said made Vin go, I am good at math.
Right?
Wait a minute. It was so wild at that moment for him just to be like, you're right.
Might be a little racist on the writer's part, I guess, to see him call out his math.
But he does. Not only is he like, you're right, he doesn't mention to Brian what the fuck he's right about.
No,
and
nothing.
Then we just immediately cut to nighttime and him riding his sweet moped out to this warehouse.
Just gonna break in. Not even break in. There's conveniently
he does not break in.
There are boxes just like making stairs for him to go
walks into this building. I swear to God, those things.
The door was open. I didn't do anything.
Those things were so much like a staircase,
right?
And the window was open. It was literally like he just walked.
There's two little boxes.
I know,
leading up to the big box.
It's literally like he walked straight into the window. Like,
right?
Like not even like had to like think
Didn't have
about
to climb.
it. Like he just
kind of walked up.
Like a straight walk up and in.
Nice easy gradient, just goes straight up.
On top of how easy it was to get in, as soon as he finds the I guess the shipping container with the cotton balls, he never
the 500-pound.
I would imagine
balls.
That's what he's looking for, though. As soon as he gets there, what is sitting right beside the case?
This like crowbar thing,
ready for him,
just ready
for him
just
to try to open
convenient.
It. He grabs it, tries to start prying it open. What happens?
The lights come on, and it's not even like the security; it's the owner.
Well,
and within 5 seconds, was he just hanging out?
I love that Vin was like, "Cops,
owner, holding a fucking." I want this gun. The owner's gun is sweet as fuck. It's like a nickel-plated fucking like James Bond
and
fucking
sadly
gun.
Enough, we never see it again, right? Because after
it's at the end of the movie
at
too,
the end,
when he has it in the cop car.
Because in the middle, though, the gun that becomes important is not this one.
Yeah, no,
and it's shitty dumb. It's not as nice.
Yeah, it's not as nice.
Sorry, I got a little carried away with myself. But yeah, this gun is nice. This is our first introduction to. What's it? Lawndale.
Mr. Lawndale.
I'm trying to put an extra S in there for no reason. Yeah, Lawndale. We don't find out that's his name yet.
No, it's like
it takes
I swear to God. Hang on,
dude.
Hang on. I have my notes because I wrote it down because I kept fucking thinking. Skate your feelings. It's the scene where like they're at the fundraiser. One Tina finally is like, "Oh, that's Mr. Lawndale." It's like 45 minutes from now.
Well, I know. That's what I'm saying. So again, we'll go ahead and tell you since the movie won't.
Yeah, his name is Mr. Lawndale.
I just call him Lawndale.
Yeah.
It's that kind of name. It's that good kind of last name that you can use without a mister. Yeah, same thing. I thought those were interchangeable.
Cocksucker.
Again, I just thought those were all interchangeable.
Yeah, they're all the same.
Lawndale,
dickhead, cocksucker, asswipe.
Those are all one and the same.
Butt licker.
Yeah, everything you can think of right here.
I could go forever.
Yeah, so we finally get the look of Lawndale. This was again. You said the moment that made you know like this wasn't the movie you thought it was.
Yeah.
Was earlier, right?
Yeah, it was.
This is probably that moment I bet where it like cemented to you. What the fuck am I watching?
No, this is the point where I was like, oh shit, he's gonna die.
They transitioned to the bathroom
of the like hotel soaking room. The fucking towel.
We don't even know what's happening. Like you can't even.
I thought they were gonna like whip him with it, like you would in the locker room.
You can't even see Vin in the shot when it first opens the bathroom. It's literally just sink and towel getting wrung out tight and wet. Yeah. Right. You're like, what the fuck is happening?
Somebody about to get their ass beat, right? The little with a
now, and the other part I gotta point out, before you can even see his fucking face, you knew it was Bobby, right?
Yeah.
You could just see the pants and the
shirt.
the like, it's not even the same pants and shirt, but you knew it was.
Bobby really liked the 70s, man. He had the 70s car. He had the the bell bottoms. We're not at his
car yet. I fucking love his car.
That car is sweet.
Wait,
fuck,
we'll get there.
Dude.
We'll get there.
But he had the bell bottoms and the fucking like this like
it was like silk satin shirts with like laser beams and stuff across it.
Like 1974.
Yeah. No. Bobby, so again, you knew it was Bobby before they showed you it was Bobby, right? And so Bobby is there. He is apparently not a henchman to the Colonel, which is what we all assumed in the beginning.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
He is a henchman for
Mr. Lawndale.
And so Lawndale is like, look, ring him up.
Yep.
We got to do something.
Choke his ass out.
This man needs to know he fucked up.
Who the fuck do you work for?
Lawndale's ready to kill him.
Yep.
Before he went outside. Then we hear a knock at the door.
It's Colonel Track.
He walks outside to talk to the Colonel.
He's a good kid.
The Colonel's like, don't kill him.
It's an honest mistake. The kid probably he was running numbers. I'll talk to him.
He's not going to say anything to you.
Yes, let me talk to him.
I know him. And Lawndale says,
all right, cool. Like you talk to him.
He was a little skittish at first. He said, look, I don't buy it. Yeah. I don't think you're right. But then he warms up to it. He warms up to the idea. He says, you're right.
It's better
Let's
than
go in
Bobby.
there.
As soon as Bobby fucking got a hold of him, he's like, he's a communist.
No, this is the thing. They walk back in the door. Bobby had killed him. Bobby, I don't know what happened.
I don't know what happened.
Bobby knew what happened. We saw the scene earlier.
If you pay attention when Lawndale's going out the door to talk to Track, you hear fucking the face. You hear him struggling.
Well, and the face Bobby's making.
Yeah, he's already being choked out when Lawndale's going outside.
To me, the part of the plot that is just not even addressed is the fact that this was never an accident.
Yeah, Bobby did it on purpose.
The movie, 100% from this point forward, just runs with the accident.
Yep.
Right? They never mention a possibility that it happened on purpose.
I do know. I think Bobby
did
it on purpose.
What we saw of Bobby's interaction with Vin the first time, outside.
Being an asshole.
The weird way he was watching the conversation with the Colonel after that, and now this. No. Bobby killed him on purpose. Bobby was jealous.
He was sitting there.
He was jealous of Vin with his American life.
Because he sits there and because when he's walking into the store the first time, Bobby's sitting there. He's like, don't worry, the Colonel loves you.
Right?
Totally believe it.
100%. This was never an accident.
Yep.
And we just never address it in this movie.
It's all right. He gets what's coming.
He does. I'm not going to deny that. But the movie, even after getting that, the movie never addresses the fact.
Yeah, they really don't.
That this was not an accident. That Bobby 100% purposefully killed Vin.
Bobby's apparently so convincing when they come back in. He's like,
I've done this before.
I've had it done to me, and I've
never
still
seen
alive.
this happen. Out.
Whatever.
Fucking
the second Lawndale walked out the door, he went, and just snapped it.
That's
it was
what happened.
Instant.
Dude. That is 100% what happened.
So, what do they do to cover their tracks?
They leave him strung up in the bathroom of this 4-star rated, or I mean, 1-star.
Yeah, it was like cheap roadside hotel. This is where like hookers and crackheads fucking live.
100% a place where fucking Vin never would have been.
It's literally down the street from Disneyland. Did you see that?
Yes.
It's like fucking like literally like 100 yards.
Which at the time was slums. Right, like this is before we got to where it built up.
Yeah, that's right.
It built up later.
It was, back in the day, it was just like slums. The projects around it. That's right.
So yeah, That's the thing about it. Like,
show how old we are.
So yeah, this was going to show that was the reason they showed us that was to give us, because at the time that would have been a reference to everybody watching to be like,
I know. Like one step outside of Disneyland, you got to look out.
Yeah, and so like that's what we're supposed to see here is that it was totally a shitty.
The Atomic Motel or something
hotel.
like that.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
fucking, like Disney owned a piece of it.
Who is the cop investigating the next day?
It's Lucero.
Why?
Because he knows.
Breaking into pools.
I don't know. Is he a homicide cop? Then why was he at the pool earlier?
Right? Yeah, breaking into pools in this. Why? What?
He has a wide jurisdiction. He does it all, man.
I guess so.
He's the most valuable cop. MVC.
Lucero is definitely here. He's confused as to what's happening. This is the point where even if you heard the first time Lucero was on scene, and again, he was kind of a douche, but he wasn't like a bad guy, right?
Yeah, he was just like, you fucking kids.
Yeah, flipping the ears, like you said. Like, he's a little bit of a douche, not a bad guy. This is when he cements himself as like the good guy cop.
Yeah.
Right? Because we hear the guy who runs the hotel.
This is some Chinese guy. I don't know.
In the bathroom. I don't know. And he's like, that kid is Vietnamese.
They all look alike.
Whoa, sir.
No, they absolutely do not.
You are 100%.
So, Lucero, good dude.
Good dude.
And
again,
fuck that hotel manager.
The fact that he immediately recognizes that this kid is Vietnamese.
Hard to do, but he can do it.
I wouldn't even it's not even that it would be hard to do. But my thing is, like, we already said it felt like Lucero knew Brian.
Yeah.
And the fact that he knows that Vin is Vietnamese,
he knew Vin because he's the one that has to, like, make the call. Doesn't it make it feel more like he knows this family? Even though, again, we know he doesn't. But this is why it felt like that in the beginning. Is like things like this. Like, why did he need to know that? He's constantly arresting Brian and shit for stuff.
That's what it feels like, even though it's not. I don't know. It's very strange. But yeah, the scene here, he sees this. He doesn't buy that Vin killed himself.
Yeah.
And we can tell that. He doesn't have a running theory.
But he's just like, something's off, right?
So as of right now, he just lets the running theory, like he lets the cops that are doing it say it was a suicide and go with it.
Yeah, but he's got like a feeling.
But you can
tell
it
on his face.
You see the gears turning, right?
It's
like you know he's got something thinking.
What was it? Like fucking Thelma would say, like something's hinky.
Yeah. He knows there's a problem.
Right. Something's off here.
Then we get to see it's time for Brian to find out, right? Like, because the scene ends with Lucero being told by the other guy, like his partner, right? Like, someone needs to tell the
somebody
family.
Needs to tell the family, and he's like, I kind of know him, so I'll do it.
Which again, he doesn't know them. He doesn't know them at all.
He met Brian earlier, I
guess. But does he even know that that's Brian's brother?
I don't know. They never.
You see what I'm saying?
That's a problem.
But so he does. He calls
Lucero
the dad.
Lucero is just the cop assigned to Brian.
I
guess.
Just
watches him all the time.
But so he calls the dad. The dad goes to school. This was one of those like heartbreaking scenes.
Oh yeah,
right?
it was.
Like, the way this is shot.
Christian Slater did great here.
He
too.
walks out to the car. He's kind of pissed off with the principal. Why am I going out
anything?
Here?
Why are you hassling me?
Why am I gotta go talk to him? What? And he like walks off. We see it stay far away.
We don't actually get
to
hear
what the dad is saying. We just see him get fucking pissed and like swinging the fucking skateboard all wild in the air and shit and being fucking
Don't
upset.
touch me. No, right? Dude. You just keep saying no and shit.
Again, this is one of those scenes like we've talked about the ones that make it feel like a made-for-TV movie. This is the one that makes it feel not like a made-for-TV movie.
Yeah, like this was really good.
The emotion that he put into this scene, you're just like, God damn, that kid.
For like like a scene with like what? 2 lines in it
and nothing again like we're not even
like,
close
it's all
we're
just,
so
yeah
far
it's
away.
all just like mimed and shit.
You
like you feel the pain,
the rawness, right?
Like the dad doesn't want to say it and he doesn't want to accept it when he hears it.
Dude,
he throws the skateboard and shit and the dad's just like, I got your skateboard, it's okay.
So this is that moment where we're trying to defend you, Gleaming the Cube. We've taken a lot of pot shots at you.
There are high quality parts,
but they are definitely few.
They are
far between and very short.
If Mystery Science...
How long was this scene?
Do you think if Mystery Science Theater had gone on a little longer that this would have ended up on it?
Probably. Dude.
Oh, definitely, right?
Yeah, this is...
Oh, they're still doing it, aren't they? Didn't they have like a season 14 coming?
They come back and they also do podcasts and like they do things like that. They do a lot of like personalized for fans, not like for,
Mystery Science Theater guys. Personal request: do this movie.
Once all of this scene finishes, all the uncomfortableness, the awkwardness, the sadness, the real emotion that's brought in, we get our first skate meltdown.
Our first skate your feelings scene.
These happen a few times in the
movie.
movie.
And I love them.
They're just montages
of him skating.
Sometimes long, sometimes short. This is a short one.
I think this one's pretty short, yeah.
This one's really short. It's just like real quick. He finds out.
He's on the half pipe.
You can see that he's angry.
Yeah, this is the one where I'm pretty sure it's Tony Hawk.
Oh, I would probably guarantee it. I would have to go back and watch to see the height. It's really easy to pull Tony Hawk. He's too tall to be most people.
I
right?
would bet money. I would put money. You want to put some money on it?
No, because I'm pretty sure it probably
You're
was.
pretty sure I'm right? Damn, I almost won some money.
But yeah, so this is it's our first, like, again, mad skate sesh. Like, first real mad skate sesh. Yeah. Like, we've seen skating in the movie so far. We haven't seen, like, crazy stuff.
Yeah,
this was our first like cool tricks. He does like a crazy
full,
breakdown,
like 360 spin thing.
Because he's got to unwind and process everything that he's
just got to dance. That was wrong movie.
Sorry,
that's Footloose. That's Footloose. I'm sorry.
Plus, this isn't even the Footloose one. That's the next one. I think is the Footloose one, where it's like a warehouse.
Yeah, where he's like in a warehouse and shit. Yeah.
This one is just vaguely Footloose-esque. The next one is straight up Footloose.
Oh, it is. It's a total ripoff.
All right. Once this scene is over, though, we get funeral. Right.
Yep. A very traditional Vietnamese funeral.
Like I said earlier, I appreciate this movie for being very real for this stuff, right? Like very true, very
it's almost like the priest is there just for like the parents, but it's mostly a Vietnamese
It is a Vietnamese ceremony. And again, these are white parents with a white son of their own who came first. This isn't even one of those they adopted
and then had a kid.
They had their kid and then adopted a kid.
Yep.
Right? So again, like, these people had no reason to have to do this, but they did do this.
Respect.
I appreciate the fuck out of Mr. and Mrs. Kelly.
They're a very progressive family for 1989, aren't they?
Super. Like, that's the thing. Like, anybody, like any younger people, like our Gen Z fans, if you watch this movie because we told you to, you're going to be like, well, this is just normal. This is what TV does
This is what
today.
they do now. This was weird
in
back
89 to act this normal about it was abnormal.
There would have been a lot more stereotypes usually.
Well, not even just that. Like, there would have been, like you said earlier, like a more focus on, hey, look at how, like, virtue signaling themselves, right? Like, look at how good we're being.
How cool we are. We have a Vietnamese character.
But they're not even doing that. They are trying to totally play it as normal as can be, to not focus on it, just show that it's there. That is phenomenal.
Very good. Extra 20 points for this movie.
Despite its made-for-TV moviness. Well, someone else can start keeping score.
Keep score.
We've never done point. This is the first time we've really yelled out points. So if someone at home wants to start tracking that, go for it.
There we go. Keep track of the points. 20 points for this movie.
We might never do it again.
Nope.
But keep track for this one so we know what the outcome is. Now that we've started, we can't go back.
Morality points.
Yeah. Now that we've started, we can't go back. Yeah, once though the funeral is going on, we end it with, again, this is one of those touching moments, dude.
This got me, dude. I was like, oh man,
you both play enough chess for this to be a thing.
There's nothing worse than a chess game that never ends,
right? And so, what does he do?
He brings the king.
The game ends.
Yep,
he sacrifices.
That's as good as
his brother wins.
King.
Vin wins. He brings his king, and he sacrifices his king on the fucking. Oh.
Again, I had to pause it.
I'm not even. I play chess.
I was a little misty. I was like, all right, hang on.
Both me and you are the type of people, like, we play chess. We're not even like chess people.
No, I'm not even like really good at it. I just play it.
Got me. I can only imagine if you're an actual chess person, the kind of feelings.
Oh, they were like tears. They had to stop watching.
Well, I almost teared up, and I had to pause it. Just play chess, right? Like, I'm not a chess person. I just play chess.
Played a lot of Chess Master on Super Nintendo.
I played a lot of different chess games. I like chess, but yeah, I'm still not.
Can't play checkers. I am a terrible checker player.
That's 2 movies in a row now. I think you've brought this up.
It's just because it makes no sense to me or anybody else why I can't play checkers.
But yeah, this was, again, it was very sad. It was very touching. Again, it's the thing that proves this was not a made-for-TV movie.
Yeah, it's that one step extra.
Yeah, how much it feels like it for most of the movie.
There's a lot of B-roll.
Yes.
There's like a lot of like reused footage and shit. They had to save money where they could.
Once the scene is over, we get some of my favorites. We get like a montage, right? Like Brian's looking to try to figure out.
Yeah, because he doesn't believe he killed himself.
Well, he went home and he found the letter.
Yeah, the note.
The yellow legal pad.
Yeah, the legal paper. So
the Westpac medical supplies at the top and the 5400 at the bottom. You know the letter. We've the paper. We've talked about it. We've seen it. We know it.
He's trying to find somebody to translate it for him because his brother apparently wrote it in Vietnamese for some reason.
Again, most of it's in numbers, which is all numbers.
What are the numbers for, I guess?
That's fine, but we've seen the paper. Very little of it is written in language.
Yeah, it's all just, it's almost mostly
all numbers except for WMS, which is an English anagram.
Up at the top, at the top.
So you see what I'm saying? This paper had very little to be translated. Beyond that, the reason this is one of my favorite scenes is this is one of those you can clearly tell they had a legally obligated amount of time that Tony Hawk had to be on screen. Because when the montage first starts, for absolutely no good goddamn fucking reason, he skates past the Pizza Hut Tony Hawk to be like, hey
man, you going to work today?
He didn't run past Zabo, who is his best friend.
No, it's Tony Hawk.
He didn't run past anybody else.
I had to get that Pizza Hut and Tony Hawk in.
Well, and Tony Hawk specifically, like you get a good clean shot of him like
waving. He's rolling up to the truck on his skateboard.
So like I said, this was one of those moments where like it was just priceless. Like, when you see this, he had an obligated amount of time on screen, right?
In fact, you think it was down to the minute. I need 20 minutes of this movie.
Well, he didn't do it, but somebody else said it.
His agent.
I don't even know if it was him. It might have been the movies, but somebody on his side was like, well, you said it. We're going to make sure. But yeah.
Everybody got to know.
Because 89 Tony Hawk was before. Again, this is before the game. This is before
before PlayStation. This is before
he thought about things like that. Somebody else would have had to tell him, like, no, if they promised you that, you need to make sure
you need to do it, man.
That you get it. And so
how old was he in 89? Like 17?
He's still pretty young. No, he's not that young, but he's still pretty young. I don't
know how old he is now. So.
I think he'd already done his European tour stuff at that time, so he was a little bit older than that.
Just starting to get big.
Well, no, he's big for skateboarding at that time. He's already big. He's just not a national name because skateboarding wasn't a national thing. Like that's the difference here. Like he became a national. He became a national name when skateboarding became national, but he was already a huge name in skateboarding before it was a national coverage thing, right? So like that's where it gets weird. Like so, if you were to talk to people who were skateboarding fans in the '80s. They would have already known who Tony Hawk was 10 years before the mass public knew who he was. Because skateboarding just wasn't big to the mass public. Right? Yeah. After that, we can address where he actually goes at the end of his montage of tracking down people to tell him what's going on.
Yeah, he goes to like a pool hall and he runs into Bobby.
Well, he doesn't run into Bobby first. He runs into a regular ass dude.
Yeah, just a random dude who's just like...
Who tells him what it says. And he says... Drugs. The way he says that.
Yeah, drugs.
The look on Christian Slater's face at first was just like...
The fuck? Are you serious? Are you sure?
I don't think my brother's into drugs.
No way. But like, it's like the guy even reading it was like unsure. He even looked at the other dude like, yeah, drugs, right?
Mm-hmm.
See? But Bobby sees it and he's like...
Bobby is... I was going to say, Bobby steps in from out of scene, right? Like, he just like slyly steps in.
Just slides in like, what the fuck?
I better go track him down. Even Bobby's friends are fucking like, what? Bobby, leave him alone.
Yeah, it's just some white kid.
What the fuck are you doing?
It's a dickhead on a skateboard.
Bobby can't leave it alone.
Jumps in his sweet fucking car. What is this car?
I don't know. This car is dope. We'll even address more of it because it's dope to look at. But the features. Wait, we're not there. We're almost there. We're seconds away from getting there. Let's do this real quick and we can talk about the features.
He starts following Brian. Brian goes back to the hotel.
Well, Brian does some sick ass shit.
Yeah.
Not really, though. He just crosses a crosswalk. But the way Bobby watches him, you'd think he just done the most amazing tricks in the world.
Because he's sitting there, he's like, oh.
how am I ever going to get to him?
I can't follow him. And like almost like crashes into fucking people trying to get over
so
there.
He gets to the hotel. He's asking the lady at the hotel.
The housekeeper. He's like, what about the kid who died?
I'm his brother.
Bullshit, you're his brother. He should have led with my adopted brother.
This is the moment I wrote down, like, maybe now Brian realizes he should always lead with adopted brother.
I get it. Good for you for not
thinking
not thinking
he is your brother.
Yeah. Good for you. But the rest of us need that distinction.
So that way we understand you're not
Otherwise,
lying.
we're all going to do like this bitch did and be like, bullshit, that kid was Vietnamese.
Don't lie to me, you
fucking
sicko.
white boy. Get out of here.
She like calls him a sicko, right?
Yeah.
She's like, that's perverse.
Somebody
right?
died, you dick.
And then he leaves there. But when he starts to leave there, he notices the car.
He sees Bobby and he's like, what the fuck? That's the
so,
same guy from before.
So now the hunter, or the hunted, becomes the hunter. I always say that wrong.
We get the Back to the Future scene.
This isn't even the one I would call Back to the Future. This is just straight skitching, which is the name for riding on the back of the car. Later on would be the one I would say is Back to the Future because it's straight up a convertible.
Yeah.
He's riding on the back of a convertible. This time he's just on the back of the car.
Yeah.
I will say that is still very skitching in general.
Is that what that's called when you like grab hold of another car?
I don't know if that's what it's really called.
That's what you call it?
No. It's not just what I call it.
Okay.
It's what a large portion of the public calls it because it was a video game for the Sega Genesis that was all about rollerblading and riding on the back of vehicles. It was like Road Rash, but with rollerblades.
I need a Sega. That's my next thing I need to get is a Sega.
Yeah,
I got the Super Nintendo and the Nintendo. I need a Sega.
Definitely check out Skitchin'.
I will.
Because it is literally rollerblading, and the whole point of the game is like grabbing on the bumpers of a car and flinging yourself further to the next one.
Oh, that's cool.
And flinging yourself. So that's how you win the race, is like being able to like...
Much like in this movie.
Yes.
Just being able to fling off
Which
a car.
Which is why
and make
you
a
will
sick
hear
jump.
me say the word skitchin' from now until the time we're finished.
From now on, it's skitching. Don't let anybody argue with you.
Sega will definitely tell you.
Yeah, Sega's got our back. It's all that matters.
But yeah, so this one I would definitely say I felt just more like generalized sketching. The later one with the convertible was 100% the Back to the Future moment. Like it felt the way he talks to him. We gotta stop. We're gonna get too far ahead. When we get there, we'll definitely address how Back to the Future that was. This is lightly Back to the Future. He is still sketching on the back of this car. And then he dives in.
Yeah, he like hides in the back fucking seat and goes for a ride out into the fucking wine country, I guess. It looked like a vineyard.
And I would give you the hiding is definitely very Back to the Future too.
Oh yeah, where he's hiding in
yeah.
Shit.
And I know that's
Biff's car.
And I know that's not where you were going, but I would say that felt.
Yeah, no, I
felt
didn't
like
even think of that.
Radio,
I was thinking of him like holding onto the
yeah.
Jeep and shit.
Yeah. But the walkie-talkie, like it felt very much like the hiding in the back with the walkie-talkie scene, a little bit here. Yeah, so he gets to go out here. I love Bobby's night, like you said, like it's like 60s, 70s fucking music, but Vietnamese. The cover. Oh,
it's like
sets the vibe.
It does. Shit, there was one song. It was like we're not going to start the fire, but it was in Vietnamese.
I can't remember. We hear a couple of them when he's driving around, so it's hard to keep up with.
We didn't start the fire.
But yeah, so I love hearing this. This is an orange grove.
Oh, is that what it is?
I thought apple orchard.
I thought vineyard.
They were definitely trees.
Okay, I need to pay more attention.
Which is why I thought apple orchard, because we live in apple tree area. We don't live in orange.
Smoke less weed when I watch these.
You should do something because they were definitely trees and not arbors.
I was in there. I'm just like, yeah, no, they're in a vineyard, right? Because California.
I thought orchard because
I guess oranges.
Well, because we live by apple. We're in more of an apple.
Oh yeah,
area
no,
here.
you can go apple picking anytime.
So I thought orchard. But if you listen in the episode, in the movie later on, Lucero says grove, which definitely means oranges.
Which would be more oranges, yeah.
Or citrus in general.
Yeah,
for
citrus.
Sure. Citrus fruit.
I'm sure they grow limes and lemons in California.
Well, grove is definitely just a name used for citrus, though. So while we're here, though, we see Bobby get out of the car. He is immediately, I'm not Bobby.
My name is Nguyen.
I want to say right now, Bobby is a stupid, stupid idiot.
He is really dumb.
You don't understand how illegal activities work. if your thought was, I killed a guy and fucked up, and now I'm going to demand things from the boss.
You're going to give me $50,000 and a plane ticket to Bangkok because there's this white kid asking questions.
I fucked up. Because I did something you did not ask. Right? Because I did something you never asked for. You need to pay my way. Like I said.
If you really think about it, Lawndale and Track, if they would have just went to the cops and been like,
this guy,
he killed him. We don't know why, but we just
stepped out.
I'm not
saying we didn't do wrong.
We did something wrong.
We didn't do that.
We didn't do that. Right?
No. But beyond that, the thing that we would see is definitely that Lawndale and the Colonel would immediately be like, we need to kill this guy.
Right?
He wants money for his fuck up? He fucked up?
Fuck you, man. It didn't help that fucking Bobby brought the gun to begin with.
Holy shit. He's such an... If that gun never would have came out into play, the worst that would have happened here is they would have told him no.
Yeah.
And he'd have got his plane ticket to Bangkok.
Yeah. But no, he had to pull a gun, act like a badass.
Well, he got told he'd get his plane ticket. That just wasn't enough for him.
Oh, did he? Really? Yeah, I didn't miss that part.
Dude, literally, Lawndale says, I'll get you to Bangkok. And Bobby's like, well, that's not enough. I need money too. And I'm like,
fuck do you do? You
fucked up.
God damn it. You could go to Bangkok with $100 and live like a fucking king.
Bobby made
especially in '89.
My whole thing is just that Bobby made the mistake. You don't get to hold ransom other people's money when you fucked up.
Especially
he should be on his knees begging for the plane ticket.
Please get me the fuck out of here. I know I killed the kid.
Bobby's like, look.
Trying to strong arm people.
Yeah, like, I know shit about your shit. And they're like, you know shit about our shit because we told you shit about our shit.
Neither one of us killed anybody.
You did that.
Yeah, you choked the kid out. That was you.
There's a tussle.
Lawndale gets the gun.
I love the way this is shot. I love the way this is shot. Good. Where you see it only in the rear view mirror.
Right.
It's phenomenal.
Almost from like Brian's point of view.
Yes. So you don't even know like fully what all happened.
Right. You just know there's like a tussle. You hear the gunshot. Bobby smacks up against the window.
Bobby sees it. Bobby is still alive. Dying.
Sees Brian like
can't say anything, but you see that
look on his face of like,
dude.
The fuck are you doing here?
As he slides down the glass.
So good.
Beautiful.
This is that paint job on this nice car, though.
This is the part that we were talking about how dope this car is, though. Not only does it look cool as shit,
it has cool features.
Once it's finished, once Bobby's dead. At first, Lawndale's like, I'll take care of the body.
The Wind's like, I'll take care of it.
The Colonel literally says, I know his family. And I'm like, so you'll dispose of his body?
So you'll just go up to him and be like, hey, your son's dead. Keep quiet about it.
And he doesn't even do anything respectful. As far as we know, he literally throws him in the trunk and never comes back.
A sweet trunk, though. I like the
this
little...
Is the part. This
the
is
little
the part.
Toggle switch.
There's a toggle switch for an open-closed trunk. And I'm sure, again, today we all think, trunks all do this.
I mean, I got a button. Beep, beep.
But it just pops it open, right?
Yeah.
Does it auto-close it?
Fuck no. This one has like a pneumatic fucking drill system. Fucking spins and...
When this thing is closed, it's closed.
It is not opening.
If that pneumatic if that is spinning
there's no way to just pop open this trunk.
You could go with a crowbar and you would have to bend the metal.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, you're literally gonna have to like twist this fucking like piston thing.
This trunk is dope. I don't even I can't.
I don't even know what kind of car this is.
I have
like a 68 Plymouth or something like that.
He's definitely done some high.
Has the suicide doors, right?
He's done
fucking
some
weird.
Cool
I love this
adjustments. And this is the last we'll see of it.
It's the last. Poor Bobby, man, just losing this car, man.
Dude, poor Brian sitting in the back watching all of this go down. Watching the body get thrown in the trunk. Again, we don't even see any of that. We just know that's what he is seeing.
That's what's happening.
And then literally, like we said, the Colonel is like, I'm gonna take care of this. Don't worry. I know the family. Leaves him in the trunk and drives away.
So what happened to the car? Do you know?
I think it stayed there.
But they come back. Brian and the cops and shit come back and the car's gone.
He
so
had
like
to have taken it to
one of his goons, I guess,
or something. I guess
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah,
the motorcycle guys.
maybe
They came.
Well,
and
no,
took
they
care
work for
of it.
Lawndale.
Oh, that's right. God damn it. There's a small plot hole.
Yeah. But so either way, though, like Brian gets his chance to leave because fucking the Colonel leaves.
You have to drive off in
bodies.
that sweet ass El Camino.
Yeah. And so Brian runs off. Runs off.
Runs the fuck away because it's like a dirt road, so it's not like
it's an orange grove.
Yeah.
They're in the middle of like L.A. proper, and they're in an orange grove.
45 minutes
close.
away
Yeah,
from the
yeah.
city, dude.
He's so far away from home. And then all we see is like an almost instantaneous shot for the cops coming back out later that night.
It's dark.
And
It's
you're
it's the only.
did it take him
time
that
we
long
get.
to walk there?
I mean, yeah, it probably would if it's like
But did he
gravel.
maybe
How
he
long?
called-
How
maybe
long
he-
do you think the gravel road went before he
super
could
long.
jump
Maybe he
on
just
his,
called from a
his
payphone.
skateboard?
Maybe he called from a payphone.
Yeah, there we go. Which of the nearest gas station?
Either way, though, who's the cop that shows up?
It's Lucero.
Why is Lucero everywhere?
Because he's the only cop in Orange County. Him and Harv and the random guy who speaks Vietnamese. Those are the only cops in this fucking town. But he calls bullshit. He's like, well, where's the car? There's nothing here. Why the fuck are you out here doing this shit? Brian's like, look, man, I don't think my brother killed himself. And to Lucero's credit, he's like, all right,
into it at least enough
a little bit.
At least enough to listen.
Yeah,
right?
at least enough to listen, and he does go double check the motel.
Yes.
And finds out that it wasn't then, it was some other Asian guy.
I don't know about you, but I had so many problems with the fact that we are at this point in the movie and someone just now thought to check
did that?
who was the hotel registered to.
A little bit. You think that'd be the first thing.
It should have been the first thing.
I've watched CSI. I know they would immediately be like, well, who registered the room?
Nope.
And you need, and I work at a hotel. You need an ID
Thank
and
you.
a credit card to get a room. And I'm pretty sure that was still the same in 1989.
Oh, it 100% was.
Maybe it not have been automated on a computer, but you still had to produce that shit.
But so after this is all done, though, we see that Lucero also is back at the precinct, right? He's talking to fucking Brian the next morning, and he's like, look, dude, I've been trying to be on your side.
Yeah, I listened to
up.
you when no one else would.
I looked it up. No Bobby Dwin.
Yeah, nothing.
In our records. Matter of fact, we just found out Bobby Dwin made it safely back
to Bangkok. Fucking Lucero's just like, look, your brother killed himself. The coroner said so. Maybe it's time to let this shit go. Go fuck yourself.
Yabo is where he goes after this, right? Because he's done. He's like, fuck the cops.
He shows up.
The cops are well, it's so funny because he's like, the cops are fucked, even though we know that technically Lucero's still on his side. Brian doesn't get to see that.
Yeah, because he acts like he's not. But then
But
he
we've
immediately
seen it,
turn. He keeps
all of the other stuff is
investigating.
on his own. He's telling Brian, I don't believe you, but then doing all of the investigations on the side.
Because he just wants Brian
Well,
to
because
stay out of
Brian's
trouble.
been doing dumb shit.
Yeah,
so
he's like, I know if I tell you,
if I tell
you're
you
gonna go
right,
do it.
You're gonna go worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense, but I just want to point out that that is what's happening.
If you really look at it, this movie's really well written.
It is.
Everything pays off if you pay attention. Even the like pads his mom buys.
Yeah, so he goes to Yabo's, like I said,
Was
because
this
he's
not the
upset,
coolest?
right?
Was this not the coolest fucking room?
Well, everything about Yabo's underlines what we've already said about Brian, right?
Yeah.
That this is the most white kid, fucking upper class family you could ever imagine. He gets to Yabo's house. They're having family dinner while playing a board
I was
game.
gonna say they're having Scrabble night, dude.
Well, again, but dinner is being had. Like, again,
Right.
it is so family
And the
oriented.
mom is like, Brian, either
if you're
come
gonna
in
be here,
or
come
go
inside.
but don't mess up my flowers.
And then beyond the fact that it is the most clean-cut, wholesome Americana you can imagine, we see them walk into his backyard.
There's
and before they even get to the bunker, right?
There's like a fallout shelter.
Well, no, before we get to the
before.
bunker, Did you notice the pool in the backyard?
Yeah.
Graffitied up.
Yep.
The mom was fine with keeping water out of their pool, so
And
it was
just
a
letting
skate
him
place
fucking
for the
skate it.
kids to go, and they graffitied it up.
That's that's Honey's hobby.
These are the coolest parents. Yabo.
But they all act like they're just like so
they're
upon.
so angsty.
Oh, fuck authority. And shit. Like, but your parents let you kind of do whatever the fuck you want.
My next question to you is, do you think that was Yabo's bedroom or just like a hangout room?
Column A, column B could have been
either
both.
way. It's cool as shit.
It's like a fallout shelter.
Well, it is. It's not like it is
awesome.
a fallout shelter. California is full of those. We just happen
I
to
want
live.
one.
Yeah, we happen to live in a state where that wasn't prevalent.
Yeah.
But if you're in California, lots of backyards have those things.
I want one.
I do too.
Cool as fuck.
And
dude.
again,
and it's even
so
got
dope.
like a little mini half pipe because it's round.
It's a circle thing.
Yeah.
Yes,
awesome.
dude. I love it. I love it.
I want
amazing.
Yabo's room. Just
Yeah.
I'll live in a sewer like the Ninja Turtles. Fuck yeah.
Yabo definitely has the coolest fucking house in the world.
He wins. He wins
Oh, yeah,
podcast
100%.
best room right now.
Yeah, this is the moment though where we get the reason for the name of the movie.
Yeah, because
Yabo
Yabo like
lays down.
explains it.
Well, he's talking to him, right? Brian's talking to him, and Yabo's like, dude, man, you're talking to me right now like you're Gleaming the Cube. And fucking Brian looks at him like, what the fuck are you saying? He's like, dude, I know you're so far gone now. The Cube, man. It's that place you go to when you're skating so hard you don't even know what's happening.
Yeah, you're just like in that zone, man.
You're in the cube. You're gleaming the cube.
I was really glad they finally explained that because up to this point I was like, what the hell does the title have to do with this
even
movie?
After hearing that though,
Still has very little to do with it, but I was like, at least they tried.
Well, no, the reason it has very little to do with it is because even Yabo says essentially this is a made up phrase for this movie because he goes, it's an intangible. I don't blame you if you don't understand.
He's like, don't worry about it. It's an intangible.
Don't get it. Like I said, it's literally a line made up for the movie, and then they had to create a way to make it sound like it was used all the time. And that's what this was.
Fucking Whistler, Dan, putting out that wisdom.
Dude, again, I absolutely adore it. It's part of the reason I love this movie is that it came up with its own tagline and tried to explain away.
Even commissioned a song for the beginning of the movie.
To try to make you feel like maybe
it was
you
a real
missed out
thing.
on some slang.
Didn't nobody ever use this term again after this movie?
Again, I loved it.
Don't forget, you got to gleam the cube every now and again,
That's
man.
right, dude. After this, though, is when we see Brian is back on his hunt. He's now looking for, again, his original hunt, anything and everything to do with his brother, right?
Yeah.
Language, fucking anybody can read the letter.
Translate this
whatever
piece of
he can
paper.
do. Now, he's a specific. Bobby Nguyen.
Yep. Got to figure out what the fuck that
He's
guy's
looking for
problem
every
was.
Bobby Nguyen in the fucking phone book.
Has
This is
every
such a
single
funny
one.
scene where he goes to the random
Goes to like the
apartment.
old man.
Yeah.
He's just like,
Bobby
I'm
Nguyen.
sorry, wrong one.
Yeah, you're not who I'm looking for. What's even funnier is that the thing that makes him know he's at the right one, the nudie mag in the fucking mailbox.
Yeah, the fucking
Why
titties.
is that what told him he was at the right one? Did you notice it? You see it on his face.
Yeah.
Like he pulls the first letter, which is a real letter.
Yep.
And he's
It's
just
like
like
tax papers.
right. He's like,
even.
oh, that's not useful. And then he sees
Stuffs
the
it back and
titties.
he's just like,
He sees the titties and he's like, this is the
that's
place.
the guy.
Don't get me wrong. He was right. But what makes that right?
Because everybody likes boobs.
Okay.
Sure.
He sneaks up to the apartment. Who's there? Waiting for him?
Lucero.
Goddamn Lucero.
And then Lucero, this scene got weird because at first it's very obvious it's Robert Nguyen's apartment.
Yes.
Then halfway through it, fucking Lucero starts acting like it's his place.
I agree.
Thank you. I'm glad I wasn't the only one.
Again, when you're actually paying attention, it feels weird.
Yeah.
When you're not, like if you're just kind of like
You're just passively watching.
Yeah. If you're passively watching, you're just like, oh, okay.
But like he's like
He
sitting on the couch like it's his,
He
and he's
starts
just like,
acting,
oh, it's like my
Yes,
place.
He starts acting like it's his place.
He does.
Everything he does. He might as well open the fridge and grab a beer. Dude.
Right.
Like it's like that crazy. I agree. I 100% agree.
I'm glad it
I
wasn't
have-
just me.
I have active memories of when I saw it as a child, believing it was a scene in his apartment.
Dude, the first time I watched it, I thought it was. And then the second time, I'm like, oh, no, it's not. He's just acting like it's his house.
Yes, 100%.
Way too comfortable of a detective.
While it's all going on, though, we see that the detective, he found the address
phone
book,
numbers and addresses and shit.
but he puts it down. He acts like it's unimportant. And it's like, how is that unimportant? How is that
fucking
important?
Brian knows it's important.
And so what does he do? He does this whole elaborate thing.
He has like this whole tantrum and like slides the fucking shit off the table. And Lucero's like, pick that the fuck up. And he's like,
what are you
no,
doing?
I'm not going to do that.
Oh, fine.
And it,
rips the page out. So slick.
I guess the way they filmed it, it was he was like right in front, like Lucero's just watching him tear the page.
That was a sarcastic so slick.
Yeah.
Then we get the scene where he starts calling the numbers. First one, unimportant.
It's like an auto repair shop and shit. But then
Bolsa Video.
That's Colonel Tran's store.
I don't know about you, but I didn't realize that was a video store in the beginning of the movie.
On the second watch through, I paid attention. It does look. It does say it.
And it looks like it in the background, too. Yeah. Like, you see it. But literally,
when you're not paying attention,
did not pay attention the first time. And I was like, it's a video store?
And then when earlier in the movie, when Vin's in there doing the paperwork and shit, like, there's not a video in that fucking shot.
I know.
There is
only when you see Bobby.
Yeah,
Bobby looks like he's in a video
Bobby
store.
And Colonel
in the
Tran.
corner.
Like, that's it.
I agree. I 100% agree. Yeah, so
it's not like Be Kind Rewind. Very obviously a fucking movie plays.
So yeah, we see though that they're here. They're looking around. Yeah, so he called Bolsa Video. As soon as he hears this Bolsa Video, he hangs up.
Yeah,
right?
he's like,
because
he
knows
that's where my brother worked.
He then goes back to Lucero.
I got some stuff. I got information. I got phone numbers.
He says, look, he called this video store. Look, this ain't the day and age of cell phones where you can say, look, this is a call history. He called the video store. This is a notebook with a number wrote down. Maybe he wrote it down to tell somebody else the phone number. You don't know.
My problem was
that Bobby Nguyen ever called that phone number.
My problem was Lucero didn't recognize that was his own goddamn handwriting. Because it's the same piece of fucking paper. He's just like, okay, cool, you called some stuff. That doesn't prove anything. Stop with your bullshit. Your brother killed himself.
Well, no, we don't see it. He definitely, like, when he sits down, it's supposed to be, when we see the scene, it's after he's already been there. So he's already told him, I stole this note.
Yeah. So
Lucero knows where the note
came
from.
Did he? Because it seemed like he didn't really register it if he did.
No, Lucero understood why he was saying it was important.
Oh, is that why he told him to go the fuck home?
Yes.
Okay, God.
Because he was saying, like, look,
you stole this shit from me.
You're now no longer helping the case, you're hurting the case.
I didn't pay attention enough.
So yeah, that 100%, that was
I got there.
Yeah, the scene was supposed to be like Lucero is like, fuck this kid. This kid's
stealing my shit, trying to interfere with stuff. Stop it. Go the fuck home. Okay, I got it.
We get the random Nick or whatever, the random cop that comes in who speaks Vietnamese.
He used to work intelligence during the war.
He comes in. I want to point out, while he's reading the medical supplies, he's reading some of the fucked up numbers.
Yeah,
Band-Aids,
he literally
900 pounds or something?
What the fuck? Band-Aids are 900 pounds.
No fucking
way. That's a whole container ship full of fucking...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like that's a whole semi-truck.
A boat shipping container,
right?
No fucking
way.
900 pounds in one of those crates we were seeing.
Nope.
No way.
It just glosses right over it.
That's what
it's just
I want to point
medical
out,
supplies.
that technically these cops had all of the information at their disposal. They just weren't paying attention to it.
Exactly.
And he says that. He says, you guys just aren't... There's something here. I promise. You're just not seeing it. He was so fucking right. It's so crazy. He was so right. The main reason I want to bring that up is because when that guy is reading everything, the only thing he didn't notice was the number.
Yeah, the weight.
That's circled. We watched when fucking...
Because that's the thing. He's like, that doesn't seem right.
He doesn't notice that.
Nope.
He's telling us everything else, but not that. Now is when we get our next skate montage,
Skate your feelings.
badass.
Skate your feelings.
Because Lucero doesn't believe him, so he has to fucking skate it out.
He's just so goddamn angsty.
Ends after this is the one that's Footloose. This is straight
It
up.
is.
It's in a warehouse. It looks like Footloose, feels like Footloose, sounds like Footloose.
I do. I have it written in my notes. I was like, Footloose scene.
Ends with visiting Vin's grave.
Because he's
Sad,
got a
touching
vent.
He's got to talk to his brother.
You started something. I don't know how to finish, man.
The way this conversation, as we've already talked about the connections, right? Like the way this conversation at the fucking gravesite was about chess and not about chess at the same time.
Yeah.
Like you're always one
move ahead.
I could never catch up.
Yeah.
Dude, like the deep inside feelings that almost makes you want to cry. Like you're just like, God damn it, kid.
I'm like, God damn.
Stop it.
Stop.
All right, Christian Slater, I know you're a good actor.
I don't fucking need this right now.
I get it. You and Vin are close.
I have enough going on.
Yeah, that was definitely one of those moments, right? Like he's at the fucking thing and he's just telling you all this stuff.
The little silver tear going down your face.
Now's when the movie takes a real crazy twist, right? Now's when Brian says, look, if I'm going to do right by my brother,
I got to hook up with his girlfriend.
Well, he doesn't say that, but he definitely does. And he definitely says,
I get at the beginning, it's like, that might be my way in to talk to Colonel Tran.
Yes.
But then it very quickly turns into like, hey, my brother's girlfriend's pretty hot.
It loses track really quick.
Does.
And it goes way off.
But when he's first looking at the picture, I get what he's thinking. He's like, oh, that might be my way in. I should buddy up to,
so he just talks to her at first, right?
Yeah.
He just tries to talk to her.
We should be friends.
And she's like,
you're American boy. I can't be a friend with American boy.
She gives some real reasons first.
Yeah.
But then she closes it out with, my dad would say, fuck no.
Look at how you look.
You're American and you look like that?
Look at that. And he's just kind of like, oh yeah, I get that.
Montage.
Because he's wearing like the Crash fucking like jacket and shit.
Montage. Well,
I like the jacket.
This jacket, this outfit wasn't even crazy, but earlier he wore less crazy stuff. It was an Elvis Presley t-shirt. For the love of fucking God.
It's not like army pants.
Yeah.
That was it.
I digress though. None of this makes sense for the fucking crazy ass montage we get.
Full yuppie, buddy.
Dude, he goes home and he rips off 2 posters. Not every poster.
Yeah, not just 2.
2 posters. Throws them on the ground. Rips into his brother's clothes.
Yeah, I guess he just
the shoes were his. The implication is the shoes were his hidden in the closet.
Because they were like buried at the bottom.
The shirts
were definitely Vin's. They were definitely Vin's shirts.
100%.
Yeah, I saw that because he's like looking through like one drawer at first, can't find nothing, goes to another one, finds a nice neatly folded shirt.
Stole Vin's shirts. Found an old pair of his own shoes.
You son of a bitch.
Cut his own hair.
Stealing your brother's clothes. Gonna move in on your brother's bitch. Fuck you, man. No, I'm just kidding.
All of it, though, dude. You know what I mean? He took the earrings out. He went all hardcore
all of
this, dude. Cut the hair.
Never,
he did all of it.
Never, ever cut your own hair. Go to a barber. You won't do it right.
When he walks out the next morning.
Oh, dude.
Both parents. Dude, dad almost fucking wrecks
crashes
the car.
His car.
Yes,
Mom breaks a glass.
Like, utter shock. And as if the parents' reactions weren't enough,
he gets
to school. Everybody. Single person at that school. Every single person.
Every person. His boys are giving him shit. There's some random dude just like, nice clothes, Kelly.
Everybody's just like blown away.
One bitch is just like, oh no.
Tina sees it.
She's all about it, though.
She does that double take.
She's like,
She does that double take. She does that big red, right? Like she does the double take. Like,
dude,
shit.
Cleans up nice.
Up. But then we hear the conversation. Look, just because you dress it up doesn't mean my daddy's going to be okay with it. And we see it. His daddy is not okay.
He is not okay.
Until he gets to the door. Yep. And daddy says, well, God damn it, I remember
That's different. I like the change.
I remember you hanging out with Vin.
I've written in my notes, I was like, I guess he's qualified now.
Right? Like, literally, the dad's change in reaction.
As soon as he sees him.
So quick.
He's like, oh, What a fine upstanding young gentleman. I guess you'll need to go
But
to your
at the
movie.
same time, he does act like that, but you can still see where he's like the trepidation. Where
It's an
he's like,
American.
wait, you are still... Well, no, it's not even the American anymore. That's the thing. He's moved past the American because this kid cleaned up.
Yeah, it's not.
Now it's because you're Vin's fucking brother, and I know what I am responsible for.
What do you know?
Right?
So, do you know anything?
At this point, it is no longer that he wants to bar fucking Brian because of Americanism. It's because he's like, fuck, well, you still know about fucking Vin.
Why are you here? Are you here to investigate me?
We can't have that.
It probably didn't help that Brian was just like, I'd like to talk to you about, like, history.
That was uncomfortable.
I want to know what really happened. Might help me.
War.
Might help me understand what happened to my brother. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about, man?
It was weird.
It's just letting fucking Colonel know, like, I'm on to you, motherfucker.
Then we see Brian get home, right?
Yeah.
It's his dad.
He's
watching the movies.
Of Brian being an absolute asshole.
And Brian is an absolute asshole.
He is in this fucking
scene,
yeah.
Too. So he walks in, he sees his dad. Dad's watching like wholesome family videos. Brian's being a shit in the videos.
Yeah, doesn't want to play frisbee or something.
Then Brian comes in and they're trying. It's like a sweet conversation, but it never actually gets there.
Yeah, it never gets there.
Right? Like, so he comes in, he's like, "Oh, you miss him." But even the way he says it, the dad's like, "Fuck you, Brian."
Right?
Fuck you. You've never talked to me about that.
Yeah,
before.
you never gave a shit about your brother. You don't care. And he's like, yeah, but like...
But I do. And
I
they're
do.
trying to have a talk, and the dad's still just like, no, but you didn't. And then Brian throws this at the dad. He's like, yeah, I mean, I was never a good kid, whether you got him or not.
Yeah, he's like, I was difficult before you got him, the Disneyland story.
Yeah, but even that is so fucked up, right? Like, because Brian is still, like, the dad tried to make a joke about how it was messed up that they got another kid.
Like, yeah, like
how
like,
that must have felt for you. And then Brian like grinds
just like just digs salt in the wound. That's all it is.
Like,
he's like, yeah, you did that, but like you took me to Disney World. I was kind of an asshole to begin with.
So fucked up, the whole conversation.
And then they hug.
The movie plays it out like they still had a good conversation.
Like it was like, but the dialogue doesn't work.
That conversation was not good.
No.
That was not pleasant.
It was super fucking weird.
They were uncomfortable at best.
Bad writing. You think that scene was like one of those like...
Somebody thought they were on to something. Yeah. And they were not.
It's one of those like post scenes, like we need to add this in later, like because we feel it'll help.
I was a difficult kid before.
I don't feel it was necessary. We could have skipped this entire fucking scene.
The next scene is so funny. Brian riding out to the fucking pier on the bicycle.
Yep.
All the skater
boys
friends,
are giving him
all
shit.
of his skater friends.
What are you doing, man? Like, what the fuck is this?
I want to say it shows dedication from Brian when he needs to.
He's working that gimmick, man. It also shows
how fucked up this is. He didn't even tell Zabo. He didn't even tell Zabo what he was doing. He wasn't like,
I'm working an angle, man. I got to get in on this chick so I can find out what happened to my brother.
No.
Nope. Just like, I'm going to just like yuppie it the fuck up. I'll take all the heat from my boys. It's whatever. And then he goes to like this fundraiser thing. We're like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. There's like a martial arts tournament going on or something.
So it was something.
And Tina's like being a waitress.
It was something. Sorry, I just realized Yabo, not Zabo.
That's fine.
I know it's stupid. It's just me. But yeah, this was like a charity event for
fuck was
the non-communist party.
Yeah, the Vietnamese anti-communist relief fund.
And so like the martial arts part of it was literally just that, right? Like it was just like a demonstration.
Yeah.
Like
they focused on it like it was important.
No, I agree. It was. I'm not trying to say it's not weird. I'm just trying to explain why it might have been there. It was weird.
It was an odd cut. It goes from that one.
The whole scene is odd, dude.
Yeah.
They're at this thing. We only ever see the martial arts part. And then we see fucking Christian Slater. And what do we see him say as Brian?
I don't like Vietnamese food. It was
always nasty to me.
My parents made me eat it.
I was like, this is the most racist, non-racist conversation I've ever heard.
He's an idiot. Fucking Vietnamese food is fantastic.
I love food from everywhere.
Dude, give me a fucking banh mi and some pho. I am happy as fuck.
Like I said, this scene was so stupid.
Oh,
That's why I was saying it.
Yeah.
Like, the guy is a moron. Absolutely.
She kept mentioning shrimp. Maybe he doesn't like shrimp.
Maybe not. He did. She did though. She
both
mentioned the shrimp
dishes
food,
were
and then
shrimp.
she's like, and then this other one is rice with diced up shrimp inside.
I don't like shrimp. Give me something else. I know Vietnam has way other
It's a lot of water.
dishes.
It's a lot of water. I get it. There's a lot of shrimp around, but still. Either way, though, the main focus of the thing wasn't the shrimp.
No.
It was Lawndale, right?
Yeah, this is where he finds out who Lawndale is.
He's like, who the fuck is that guy?
I recognize that voice.
This was so nuts because, again, he doesn't recognize the guy.
No, just the voice.
And barely, because he was in the backseat, hiding with the windows up.
And the radio fucking playing. Remember, it's like Vietnamese music.
So, okay, sure. He thinks he knows the person now. Lawndale, he's got it. He's found his person. But he also now knows that it's not as easy as he thought it was going to be, because not only is this Lawndale person someone easy to look into, he's close with the Colonel.
Yep.
And now, unfortunately, because of Brian's way in, is close with fucking Tina.
Yep.
He could have found any other way in, and it wouldn't have been an issue.
Oh, well.
Once he finds out it's Lawndale, he also finds out that Westpac Medical Supplies is the company.
Yeah, it is.
And that's when he makes the connection. She says that. She's like, he runs Westpac, and he was like, Westpac?
Oh, and he looks at the
Medical
paper.
Supplies,
I have
WMS.
That's on my little piece of paper here. Neat.
Wait a minute. And so where does he go?
I should look into that.
Where does he go?
He goes to the warehouse.
Goddamn, nature versus nurture. This is insane shit right here, dude, right? Or nurture versus nature.
I guess.
Like, this is proving that the family had way more to do with how these kids turned out than genetics.
Yep. Why would you think like
They both
of them
hear this name and are like, I'm going.
I'm just gonna go break in and see what's up.
I will give credit to the Westpac people. They fixed the weird stairs straight into
they
the window.
moved all the boxes that fucking Vin used.
Brian was not able to
Brian
get
had
in
to like climb up on the fucking
as
roof.
easy as Vin was able to get in.
Had to like climb through like a ventilation shaft and shit.
Fucking shimmies
down.
Not even shimmy down. Drops.
Like drops.
Dude,
he dropped to the floor.
We see him drop from ceiling
right?
to floor.
Skateboard
in hand.
I was sitting there. I was like, all right, that's cool, man. But how the fuck are you going to get out?
Rides a skateboard around the fucking building.
He does avoid the security lasers.
Miraculously.
I guess. They were pretty obvious with the like handicap rails
around them. What about the
them.
sound level as he's riding around this room? The last time we saw someone here, the owner was in the building.
That's true. And he's just fucking rolling around with that fucking
And he rolls
noise.
right up to this, what we assume is the same shipping container.
Yeah.
With the same crowbar.
It's the exact same
there.
crowbar just sitting there.
So you're telling me that my man's saw fucking Vin there.
And was
Lawndale
like,
saw Vin there.
Maybe I should move this, right?
Didn't think I should move the crowbar away from that specific crate.
No, if anything, he moved it closer.
Oh, yeah. No,
it was actually
like right
close. It was like right next to it.
But
and
what's
Brian's
wild,
just like, fuck it. Just starts bashing the shit out of the box.
What's wild is that Brian didn't think I'll use this crowbar as a crowbar.
It's a hammer.
He didn't even split second think to use like a crowbar. He instantly picks it up
hammer!
And says, this is a hammer. And bashes that in. What does he see?
Some fucking Uzis.
Guns, bitches.
Fucking weapons. Fucking Colonel Trax shipping some weapons over to Vietnam.
I don't know if you knew where this was going, but this was going to guns.
He's more of a fucking revolutionary than we thought. He's actually arming the anti-communist movement in Vietnam.
It's not just medicine. While this is all going on, he decides that he now has to do something, right? He finds this out, and he's like, well, fuck. If this is what the Colonel's in on, I can't let this go down.
I gotta do
do something about it, right? So Brian then decides he's going to use his connection to Tina to his advantage.
Yep.
This is wild to me. He goes to Tina's house.
Yep, they're having a nice little date and shit.
And says, I'm going to go to the bathroom.
I gotta pee.
The bathroom.
Yep. And just go like pilfers the fucking den, like takes the
Steals
hat
and
the lighter.
I don't know about you, but at first I was like, why? Right?
At first I thought he just liked the hat. The lighter made more sense. But then he doesn't leave.
Does it though? Does it though?
But he doesn't leave the lighter.
Thank you.
He doesn't leave it. He leaves the hat later.
It starts with it makes sense, but then it never goes anywhere.
Exactly.
So yeah, he steals the hat and the lighter, and then he decides he now knows what he's going to do. This is wild. This was wilder than breaking in.
A little arson, a little mild arson is fine.
We see him sneak into the building, this time full on skateboard, full on fucking
he's ready to go.
Slide in.
He even stole some gas.
The siphoning the gas scene was wild to me because I was like, this isn't true siphoning. He starts sucking and he gets it into the tank before it hits his mouth.
Bullshit.
How many times have you watched siphoning in real life?
You spit every time.
In siphoning in real life, you know that you finally got it to come through when gas hits your mouth. Either way, though, he siphons some gas. He goes out and he has the what? This is crazier than breaking in.
He fucking they upped the security obviously since last time.
He pulls the fucking the wheel blocks from the fucking security
from the trailer
and lets it
throws some firecrackers in it and
so that way it goes fucking off on the distance. They're stuck inside, locked in,
right?
Boom,
and then
explosions. He's like Kevin McAllister for like teenagers.
I wrote MacGyver. I went mini MacGyver.
Either way, it's either a late age early MacGyver or an early late age Kevin McAllister. Whatever you want to say, but this dude was nuts with the way he was fucking working this.
And then just piece de resistance, a little Molotov cocktail on a skateboard.
Gasoline Molotov cocktail.
Right?
That's like Molotov cocktail to the nth degree, dude.
It's a whole
and
fucking
he shoves
can.
it into a gas fucking thing, right? The gas register.
She launches it at a propane tank, and the whole fucking side of the building blows up.
It's not even just a tank. Like that's like the register. Like that's the thing that like puts it into the whole building. The explosion that comes is so small.
It's fucking huge. And
it's small.
Wait.
It's small for gas for a whole building, and nothing happened. The wall doesn't even like.
Behind a fucking pallet that's not good. It's got like the huge gaps in between the wood. That's not gonna protect you.
No, I agree. His point of view, he wasn't safe. But I'm saying like the explosion that actually happens against the building, not at all what would have actually happened.
Oh fuck no, because that's like a connected line.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. I was saying like this is a connected gas line that would have blown the wall out, and we see like. The building looks fine. There's not even like a crater.
It's not even burned, is it? That's right.
That's what I was getting at. I was
going for how dumb it was that he hid behind the pallet for the explosion.
I agree. He never would have been safe there. I'm saying that what we saw was still nowhere near what would have actually happened.
No. My grandma had one of those propane tanks outside her house, man. They're pretty big. That thing would blow the fuck up big.
And it would explode. Again, it would explode. This is like flames against the building.
It would not just be like poof of flame. Well, it would be gas flying and sticking to things.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like this,
because it's a liquid propane tank.
Regardless of that, this was like flames against the building, no explosion. Right? That building didn't have a hole blown out of it.
Yeah.
The concrete didn't have a crater in it.
No.
That's what would have actually happened if a propane register tank like that blew up.
And then the fucking fire would have shot down the lines into the actual building.
We see nothing. This is literally
unrealistic.
Nothing.
Worst movie ever.
Well, I don't know about that. But this part of it
is the most unrealistic bit.
Well, because again,
we needed an explosion.
Well, the whole bit here was supposed to be twofold, right? It's supposed to be his chance to leave the hat, and he does. It's to make Lawndale think, oh, fuck, the Colonel's turning on me.
Yeah.
That part worked, right?
Yeah.
But the second part here was supposed to be that he was supposed to cause the police
to look into the building. They do
and
not.
in real life, they would have, because
Exactly.
a hole would have been blown in the building.
They would have been like, "Oh, look at these guns we found."
But because the movie is stupid, they
don't.
don't. That's the reason
They
I want to
can't
bring
even
it up.
pin it on fucking Brian. Like,
No,
Lucero's
Lucero's
fucking goes to the house.
I know it's you.
I know you did it, but I can't prove it.
How? Lucero's so full of shit. He's so full
Right?
of shit.
Unless
He's
you
trying
have
to bring
video.
up the screw up connection again. He's
It's like
we're
just
both
because you're a screw up or fuck up, depending. It bothered the shit out of me.
I know we skipped past it after we said we weren't going to.
There's a scene where like they say it like 5 times. They say screw up, but every time you watch their mouth, they're saying fuck up.
Yeah.
Why couldn't they just say fuck up? They say fuck later.
After this is all done, we have to talk about this. This is the point where fucking Lawndale officially thinks the Colonel's turned on him.
Oh yeah, he's like, look, man, you think this shit can happen to me? It can happen to you too.
Or it will.
Or it might. And then Colonel's like, all right, wife and Tina, you need to go to the uncle's house. Uncle Tang. Something.
He's like, you need to go there.
Go to my brother's
now.
house. Just get the fuck out of here. And the wife is just like, you promised me there'd be no more
You said the war was over.
No more war.
Where does fucking Tina go?
She goes to Brian's house. Nice. Nothing sordid. She's just like, I was supposed to go to my uncle's house, but I didn't want to, so I came here. I'm just really freaked out. Like, can I stay here?
Please.
Yeah, and she crashes.
So she shows up at Brian's house, like we said, right?
Yeah.
And she's telling him like I had to leave. Dad was like, things are going bad.
Yeah, my whole world's falling apart.
I never went. I came straight here. She's fucking soaking wet from the rain.
Gets her a towel.
We'd already seen. They've mentioned the way they mentioned the rain that one night, like 8 times, is so crazy to me. I was like, why do we keep
Lucero
mentioning
shows
it?
up to talk to Brian.
Yes.
He's just like, oh, hey, it rained.
Like, I was like, why are we mentioning this rain?
Because it's California.
So
it never happens.
But yes, they have their beautiful little scene together. You can tell now, right? This is the official time where you're like, we have thought Brian had a thing for Tina before.
Yeah.
This is the official Tina has a thing for Brian moment, right?
Because she even says it, doesn't she? She's just like, I really like you.
And she stays at his house.
Yep. In a different bed. It's all nothing sorted.
No. Look, you want to say that. What I want to say to you right now is that okay? Whose bed is that?
Oh, yeah.
That is the bed of her dead boyfriend. Brian's...
it's a little fucked up, man. Moving in on your dead bro's girl.
Brian's solution for the night was, let me make my dead brother's girlfriend sleep in his bed.
Yeah, it's a little fucked up.
That's traumatic.
I didn't pick up on that. She's totally fine with it in the morning, though.
She is fucked up.
She's just more pissed off that her jacket's still wet.
Fucked up.
A little bit. I didn't catch that. But yeah, it is a little fucked up. I was going with the whole like, well, at least they didn't wake up in the same bed, you know?
Next morning, though, she wakes
finds
up.
the lighter.
So this is the part where I want to say this is why the lighter was so stupid.
Yeah.
Right? He had a purpose. He left it. It was part of the way fucking Lawndale would know. Think the Colonel did
drive the wedge.
Right? If you didn't leave the lighter as evidence too.
Why'd you take it?
Why do you have it?
Yep.
Any lighter could have lit the gasoline.
Easily. Match even.
Why does he have the lighter? The lighter causes the problems right now.
Literally, that's it. Just so the writer can have a reason for Tina to find out what's going on.
Which is good, and that's what happens because she finds she finds the lighter. Brian says, all right, I gotta tell you.
Yeah.
We don't even get to hear the conversation.
No, we don't.
It immediately so we assume he told her the truth.
Yeah.
The whole truth and everything
nothing but
that
the truth.
We know is the truth, right? But we don't actually know that.
On the Bible
but
and
we
all
don't
that
actually
shit.
know that. We didn't see it.
No.
We just see her walk into her dad's fucking office.
Like after he gets off the phone with Lawndale being like, I want out. I'm done. I'm not doing this shit.
I have so many problems with that conversation too, because he said, I'm done. After no, wait, we got that backwards.
Oh, did we?
She comes in first, says Brian knows everything, and then he calls Lawndale.
Yeah, then he
because he tells Lawndale about Brian.
Yeah, that's right.
So this happens first. She walks in, she tells Dad, like, Did you do it?
Yeah,
you
she's
kill
just
Vin?
like, how did Vin die?
The shit she lays on him in 5 seconds. Did you do it? And he's like, what do you mean? Did I do what? And she goes, did you fucking kill Vin? Did you have something to do with this? Who is Lawndale and what is he doing?
What's with all the guns? And she throws it all out at him.
So much, so fast that guy has to be like fucking...
He does. He just kind of breaks. He just sits down. He's just like,
it was an accident.
Like, I want you to understand, like, we didn't mean to kill the kid.
So instantly, right, she finds out her daddy's responsible for her boyfriend's death.
How fucked up is that?
Oh, dude.
Years of therapy.
It's insane that that's what happens. But so this is when, like you were about to say, Lawndale and him are on the phone because he's like, I'm done.
Yeah,
my daughter brought it to my attention. This is all fucked up.
It's the brother.
My thing here is, if you're done, if you're not going to have anything else to do with it, you tell the man, I'm not killing nobody else. You're done. Why did you call him and tell him that Brian had anything to do with it?
Right. Why would you give up that information? Because immediately Lawndale is just like, well, stupid. I'm not done.
It seems so stupid, right? Like he immediately...
Intentional. He was like, I'm done, but like if you want to do something about it.
But if you want to tie up the loose ends.
Yeah, here it is.
I agree.
You go kill that kid. I'm not doing it.
The Colonel can say what he wants. He knew.
They tried to give him...
He knew what was happening when he made that phone call.
And they try to give him this half-assed fucking like redemption kind of thing at the end.
No.
Fuck you,
Colonel.
Colonel.
Let's deal with this. We're at the end. Things are about to happen really quick. It's really easy. So literally, after fucking Lawndale got the conversation phone call from the Colonel and says Brian's in on it. Brian's doing it. What do we see? Brian's on his way from home from school.
And the goon
in his
squad.
Nice clean clothes.
Yep, he's all looking nice.
On real motorcycles. No more mopeds.
Yep, no
Fuck
real. Like, one of them's like a fucking Yamaha, dude.
One of them's like an actual biker bike. Yeah. The rest of them are like...
they're trying to fucking kill him.
Kawasaki types. But one of them is like a biker bike.
Yeah, it's like a Harley almost.
But yeah, so they are chasing after him while he decides to do some more sketching.
He notices because it's like a shiny wheel well, and he just happens to see him behind him and stuff. He just looks behind him, and this dude just pulls up next to him. He's like, hey, Mr. Lawndale wants to talk to you. And he's like, I bet he fucking does. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, and he's off. We see more...
This is where we get the next like stunt bit where he does like the skidding and shit, the downhill stuff.
Yes, he goes
not Tony Hawk.
Totally no, because that's not his.
Somebody else.
Yeah, so he goes flying around down hills trying to get away.
There's a shot where you could tell he's actually like a brunette. He doesn't have blonde hair.
Tons of these crazy tricks, like we said already. Way more than one skateboarder
until they fucking run into a cop. He does like the jump over the cop car and shit.
And then once we get to the end, though, he gets knocked off his board. The motorcyclists lie to the cops.
Yeah, he called me a bad F word and a fucking gook.
Yeah, he definitely was. He said that they all implied that our boy threw out some racial homosexual slurs. Well, and the other one is for Vietnamese people.
And for Vietnamese people, yes.
So again, the whole point here is they were saying that it was
you were being racist.
Brian
that's why he
was the wrong one. Yeah. And again, though, if this had been any other cop that might have flown.
Yeah, but Lucero
is the only one. Lucero's looking at him, and Brian even says,
yeah, because I do that shit all the time.
Lucero does not agree with them publicly to Brian. Brian doesn't know that Lucero's on his side, but we know.
Yeah.
Lucero cuts him loose. He's like, look, don't fucking do no more.
Just stay the fuck out of it,
and
man.
Then he talks to the gang members, and he's like, y'all are fucking lying.
Yeah, they start speaking Vietnamese at each other like they're clever
and
he
shit. Says, foreshadowing moment from earlier, let me call in my buddy Nick. Because Nick is the whitest white guy you know.
But he just happens to speak fluent Vietnamese.
Yeah. And
worked intelligence during the war.
Yeah. And so he gets Nick in there. Nick is there. And it doesn't work at first, right? Like
it's like,
they said
it seems
the dumb
like it's
shit
hours.
First, but then they kept just saying in English. And
like
finally he calls in the other detective, the dumb old detective.
Yeah, he's just like, hey man, the lawyers are starting to get pissed off.
He knew this would work. He knew those young Vietnamese kids would see this old white detective and feel cocky again.
Yep, and they do.
And it was
immediate.
And what do? They immediately
rat on themselves.
They immediately rat on Lawndale.
Yeah, everybody. There's like they say something in Vietnamese that
because remember right now
from context amounts to is like, hey man,
it was.
You
Lawndale.
think Londo will pay us extra if we fucking get out of this?
Well, remember, because the main reason that we need to focus on that it was Lawndale is that right now they don't know if the Colonel hired these hitmen.
Yeah, that's true.
Or if Lawndale did. That's the only thing they're focused on trying to find out right now. Who hired them?
I just love the look on their faces when they fucking.
Oh no, the one who smacks the other
fucking
one.
Dude, he's just like he speaks back to him in fucking Vietnamese, and the other one just slaps the shit out of that one guy like you fucking idiot.
While all this is going down, we do again. Brian lost his skateboard.
Yep,
we gotta address that. During the whole rundown away from the Vietnamese guys on the motorcycles, his got
fucked up.
Yabo? So he's got to go to Yabo.
Yabo is
apparently Yabo is like the guru.
Yeah, the deck guy.
And so Yabo says, "Oh, you need a new board? I got you. This fucking skate
is so fucking cool.
I love this.
I don't skateboard. I want this skateboard. It's so
First
sick
off,
looking.
I miss this era of skateboarding.
The fat ones?
The fat fin in the back and the point in the front. Like not the double circle.
Almost shark shaped fucking board.
Nowadays, we've got the oval end on both sides, right?
Yeah.
I like this. I get the other one's better for tricks. I don't do tricks. I just skate. So this is awesome.
This is perfect
the metal
for you.
lining. The like stainless steel fucking lining,
like the reinforcement and shit.
The giant circle weird tread to make the grip tape on the top. Did you see it?
No, I didn't
it was
see
like giant metal circles on the top.
That bit. That was cool.
That's what his grip was on the top, on the front, and then the back, the grip was diamond plate, like you would see like a truck bed or something. It was diamond plate on the back, but the front was metal circles, dude.
No, I didn't see the front. I saw the back with the diamond plate.
Holy shit, dude! This was so badass, man.
I like when he's putting the white wheels on and shit.
Purple and green fucking dragon on the bottom and shit, dude. The white wheels. No.
Put these black ones on. Like, man, they're not good for anything but speed. Exactly.
No, it wasn't even that he said they weren't good for anything but speed. He said they're not good because they're rough, right? Like the ride is rough.
Yeah.
But they're fast. Exactly.
Yeah, it's what I fucking need right now.
Fuck the rough.
Speed is key.
I don't care if I'm.
Yeah, no, I just need to go fast.
Now is the point, though, after he leaves, he gets his new skateboard, this badass black, dope, fucking monster skateboard. He tells fucking Yabo, right?
Gather the boys.
We need everybody.
Yep, get everybody.
Yabo gets on the phone. This is so funny.
It's a bat phone. It's a red fucking phone.
He calls Tony Hawk, and Tony Hawk calls everybody else, and they're all meeting up where?
At the Pizza Hut
truck. It's not even just the Pizza Hut.
It's the truck. It's literally the truck because he asked him. He's
like,
hey, you still got the keys to the truck?
I remember Pizza Hut's heyday. I remember all that. I don't remember them having their own vehicles like this.
I don't either. I just remember
truck.
that
again,
style
we've mentioned
of building.
It once earlier, but like now's when we really got to, because it gets its
a solid red
its moment
fucking truck
now, right? Solid red. Pizza Hut has the hat. It looks like a Pizza Hut building top on the front end of the truck.
I want this truck. Is that bad?
And so
I would totally rock this truck.
They make sure that Buddy, Tony Hawk has the keys. Because again, this is like modern day delivery driver, it's your car.
Yeah.
This is definitely a Pizza Hut vehicle.
Yeah, no, the Pizza Hut bought this truck.
Yeah, 100%.
It is specifically for delivering pizzas. Technically, Tony Hawk should not have the keys.
Yes,
he should have turned them into the
he said it was crazy that he had them.
Yeah.
They asked, do you have them? And he goes, well, yeah.
Yeah, you want me to deliver pizza at 6 o'clock
in the morning?
No, it's 6
o'clock in the morning.
No, nobody wants pizza at that time. We got to round up the boys. Brian needs us.
I love this scene.
Okay.
I love this. Where he says, okay, hangs up, lays back down.
I thought
it was a solid 30 seconds.
I thought he was going back to sleep.
It was such a long count. I was waiting for the back up.
I was waiting for the phone to ring again. Like Yabo knew he was going to go back to sleep and like called him again to be like, no, motherfucker, get up.
It was such a long count.
But no, Tony Hawk's just like, I should get up, and jumps up. And I'm like, I've done this. I've done this exact thing.
Yes, it was so good, dude. This is where we really start to see, like, again, so I got you to watch this movie because I told you, like, this was a skateboarding movie and it's got some crazy skateboard shit that goes on. And most of the movie has not had that.
I know.
I know that.
I was like, there's not a lot of skateboarding for a skateboard movie.
The end makes up for it.
It does. The last literal, like, 30 minutes is, like, all skateboarding.
It's not even 30. I wish I could say it was 30. But yeah, the last, like, 15, 20, I don't know. It's not quite I wish it was a solid 30. I really do. But yeah, this is when it starts
because you get the little scene of like Brian skating to Colonel Tran's house, and then like he skates into the window.
We gotta talk about that. So yeah, so right now is when it starts to get crazy. So he's got his special board. He's going over to see the Colonel.
Yeah.
Well, he's just going to see what's going on because he knows Tina left his house pissed.
Yep.
Ready to talk to her daddy.
Yep.
And she gets there and she's like, Daddy,
the fuck happened to my boyfriend?
I heard you
kill him?
I heard you did.
Did you kill my man?
What's going on? He tells the truth.
He breaks immediately. I'll give him credit.
We've already mentioned all of this. We just hadn't done the build up for the other stuff. Because this was so it's so weird how the scene works. It is. You have to do both build ups to really understand. But so what's wild is fucking Brian. Brian is waiting on the top of this arc. Why is their house perfectly set up for skateboarding, dude?
I don't know. There's this like perfect like a little arch with a dip that fucking like just ramps into the window.
But so while he's there and he's waiting to do this, not only is Tina there, we've also had Lawndale show up to confront
like
the Colonel because the Colonel said he was done.
Oh, like the kid knows they know. My daughter knows. You're gonna like take her hostage too.
Well, that was what's just funny. Like Lawndale didn't show up for that. Lawndale just showed up because the Colonel said I'm done.
Yeah,
right. But then the Colonel gave him that out. The Colonel said, "You gonna take my daughter hostage?"
Yeah. It doesn't help that the cops show up like right when she walks in. She's just like, "Hey, there's cops outside," and Lawndale fucking grabs her like, "I will take her hostage."
I was gonna say it's not like she walked in when the cops showed up. She walked in to tell them the cops showed up. That's a little bit different.
Yeah,
but yeah, she walks in. As soon as she says that, he grabs her. Fucking Brian from outside takes the perfect like this is Tony Hawk fucking video game. This is 100%. Taken from Tony Hawk.
Fucking pretty sure you could do this exact thing in the game.
It's like a weird reverse arc, right?
Yes.
So like an arc would be hollow in the middle, but this isn't hollow in the middle. Like solid where the arc would be.
Yeah.
And he rides it down, ramps it up, breaks the window. The window breaking happens to cover up the gunshot noise, so that way when Lucero breaks in, he didn't realize a gun just got shot.
Brian going through the window does nothing. It's just there.
Brian going through the window gives Lawndale the opportunity to
get the
escape.
Fuck out. So he's not helping.
With Tina.
He made it worse.
He made it
way worse.
Again, while this goes on.
If Brian hadn't have done that, Colonel Track could have got the gun away. Would have got shot anyway. All
right. So like we were saying, he gets shot in the chest. Lucero runs in. He sees this.
Call 911.
Like he wasn't gonna die.
Yeah.
I mean, when you not even just me being silly, but like if you were to watch where they special effect the fucking blood from,
it is
dead
center. He is fucked.
You're not coming back.
The fact he is still gasping for air is a miracle.
Went wild.
Yeah, he did. So did the wife. The wife coming in being like,
can we also address right now, why is Lucero in a squad car?
Yeah, he's a detective. Shouldn't he have like...
He shows up to their
like a Crown Vic or something?
Well, it's a squad car because they steal it. That's the reason why Lawndale drives away in the fucking thing.
Why does he have it? He should have his own car. Every detective I've ever fucking seen, they kind of use their personal car, don't they?
Yeah. It's crazy.
Or they get given like an unmarked car or something. But no, full has the fucking cherries on the top and
Yes.
shit. Lawndale fucking goes outside with fucking Tina, and there's another random Vietnamese guy that he takes hostage. Where'd he come from?
I don't know. He was
He
just
just shows
showing
up.
up, and he
just shows
he
up.
steals him.
He's like, you drive the fucking car.
Now we get the this is the end. This is
This is the big
whole, like
the big skate scene, right?
so literally we see Brian chasing down, skitching from car to car to
He jumps
car
on the
to
fucking-
car to car to car to car to car.
The Corvette was the best
Well,
one.
again, that's where he ends it.
Yeah, he's on like a Corvette, and then he does like this cool like dip underneath a semi truck to get to his boys on the Pizza Hut truck.
You gotta address all of the Corvette. The Corvette is great because it is the full thing. Fucking Lawndale hits him
Yeah, he's like,
with
what
the cop
fuck?
car, and then fucking Brian rolls up to the guy driving it and is like, dude, you know that's not really
It's
a
not
cop,
really a
right?
cop, right?
I know.
The fucking tears off after him, and he just
holding-
looks. He's like,
this-
"Yep, still with you."
This is the Back to the Future moment.
It
This
totally
is like earlier you were like it's Back to the No, this one, it's a convertible. It's going too fast. The guy
Right.
didn't know he was on there, even though he technically
Looks over his
had
shoulder
the
like
information
Biff.
to know he was there. This one.
Yep, shot
This
for
one
shot,
was like
almost.
Biff's Back to the Future. 100%.
With the exception of him being like, "All right, man,
there was
that's
no
fine."
tunnel. There was no tunnel.
No tunnel,
I
and he was
waiting
cool with it.
for a fucking tunnel so
it would
bad.
have been too much.
They
Would've
went
been too
under. They
much.
went under the overpass, and I was like, "I see what you guys
Yeah,
thought. It's not
it
good
was
enough."
it was one of those big overpasses.
It was. It
right?
lasted
So
a second,
could've
but
been
it wasn't
technically
a tunnel. It was not.
It's a technical tunnel.
But yeah. So this again. This is. There's not much else to say here.
No, it goes
Guys, like,
on.
again, it's wild. It's skateboard. It's fun.
You've got Brian on his skateboard with the boys and the Pizza Hut truck.
Well, wait. The last thing I want to say.
Like a Lucero in the
wait,
busted up
Wait,
car.
we hinted at this earlier. The best part here is the Tony Hawk fucking confrontation
Oh, yeah, that's
scene.
right, where they're
The
going
chicken.
down the hill toward him.
Chicken.
They're playing chicken.
No, this is great. Like literally, Lawndale's going up the hill. He doesn't see them at first, right? But when
They come
he gets
over the
high,
crest.
when they come up over the top, he sees them. The look on his face, where he was like, "This isn't even real."
Right?
Gun it, gun it,
Go
gun
through
it.
him.
And then the fucking pan to fucking Tony Hawk's face, and the I'm gonna win this
The
game,
just
chicken.
stone face just.
I fucking love it, dude. I
The
love it.
Vietnamese guy fucking breaks, whips
Of
the
course.
car around,
Of course
and
he
fucking
did.
fucks off.
And that's basically the end. Like the
Yeah.
after this, they wreck.
yeah,
Scene's over.
Lucero comes
Yeah,
in,
yeah.
pit maneuvers, hits him. They come out.
I will give credit to this random poor Vietnamese guy that got kidnapped
He's
here.
a pretty good
He
driver.
did really good
He
driving
did.
until this pit maneuver.
For having a gun to his head, he's a really good driver.
After the pit maneuver, though, everything that you would think happens.
Yep, a little bit of a shootout with Lucero.
Fucking dude jumps out.
He's got Tina.
with a
He's
gun
about
to
to
his
shoot
head.
her. Brian does the big fucking
What did he even ramp off
I don't
of?
know, but he gets whipped off of the pizza
What
truck.
did he ramp off of? This
Curb.
motherfucker got like 45 feet of air, dude.
Fucking, he half flew across that ravine thing that they were in. There was like a huge gap.
Oh no, he cleared
flies
that.
in,
Gets to the other
knocks
side.
out, like perfect hit. Hits Lawndale in the face with the board.
No, the ravine was way before. Like I said, like the
Oh,
air.
yeah,
the ravine happened, and then like that's when he met the truck.
Yeah.
Like this was like solid. Like he's at the truck, gets air, 30 foot of air, and
There's
lands
hydraulics
something, dude.
in the board. Yabo didn't tell us. There's a button. You push it and it goes. swing.
Buddy didn't tell us.
Ah, yeah.
Buddy owns the Pizza Hut truck.
That's right.
Literally, though, Brian ends this with air that he never should have been able to have.
He even does
He's
a
like
turn. He does like a
30
360 and then smacks him.
30 feet in the air, lands directly on the gun. Like, I'm
Right.
not even saying on Lawndale.
Nope.
On the gun.
The most precise fucking jump ever.
Knocks it out of his hand.
Threads the needle literally. Like lands between Tina and Lawndale. Hits the gun. Fucking wipes
Lawndale's
out.
gone. He's good. Tina's safe. But then we see the close-up of Brian for the aftermath. where did these gnarly wounds come from?
Because he just kind of rolled, didn't
but
he?
he's like,
he's got a fucking cut on his face. His arms broken.
Like the gash on his face. He's wearing like the neck brace, like he took a fall like Yabo at the beginning. I don't understand.
His arm is like broken in a sling and shit. He's in like a wheelchair. It's like, I mean, you didn't hit that hard.
Yabo walks up and talking to him, and he's like, man, but I fucked that board up.
This thing's less than an hour old. Man, your trucks weren't straight enough. I could have been killed.
You're right. Silly, funny scene. They
got to end on a light note, right?
But that's the thing. We don't end there.
I know. They should have.
They should have. No, what do we go to immediately after that piece of fucking dialogue?
Fucking Brian and Tina at the hospital.
So your dad.
Yeah, he's dead, right? Yeah, it was sad.
Oh, shit. Okay. What
end
the
of
fuck
movie?
Like,
what the fuck?
It's still not even the end of movie. It's like, that still might have been better than what we get.
Yeah, no, because then we go to like...
We leave there for no good goddamn reason to go to fucking Vince's cemetery? The plot
we had to show off the cool surfer truck that fucking Lucero had. That was the whole reason.
Why is Lucero even the one taking Brian there?
I don't know. Should have been Tina, right?
Should have been anybody.
Or his dad?
Something.
I don't know. They ran out of stuff and was like, we have to end this movie.
Yeah. But main takeaways here is Vin's dead.
Vin's dead.
Colonel's dead.
Londale's in jail?
Hopefully.
I guess.
Lucero maybe got promoted. I don't know.
Maybe.
Hopefully Brian and Tina graduate. I don't know. Anymore.
They just kind of leave us and like, hey, the movie's over.
Well, we're not fully finished because what do we close out with?
Some more footloose
skateboarding.
Yeah, because we got to skate our feelings out one more time.
This was awesome. Rodney Mullen. I love Rodney Mullen.
Fucking sick. He's doing some badass shit here. Yeah. And it does make it more fun to watch the credits. You're just like, that's
again, most of it. This is, I will say this for everybody who maybe doesn't watch them. This closeout scene is so funny for the skateboard, right? Most of it, 95% of it, only on the feet, right?
Yeah.
You're not seeing anything but the feet, so they don't even have to pretend.
Yeah.
But every minute they pull all the way out.
Show wide shot with the fucking wig. You could have just showed the board.
We didn't.
We just need the footwork. We can assume it's Brian.
We didn't need the wig one last time.
No, but they do. They showed up. It's like, God damn it.
For no reason, zoom out for the wig. All right, guys. This episode has been long
and fun and shit. God
sorry,
damn,
guys.
9.5.
We weren't ready for how much this was going to impact us.
Yeah, but we've been fuck, I can't talk. The 5 point whatever that we've been doing English. God damn, everybody fill this in. I give up. You do it.
So yeah, hopefully I know where he's going. These have been strong. Well, the last month were not strong. I don't know if I can get this. Last month was not strong. This one was strong.
Yes, that's what I was trying to say.
We need much time for reacclimation, and we are not
Tolerance low, bad things.
So this was fun. Skateboarding
awesome.
Cool.
Skateboarding cool. Skate or die, motherfucker.
Main moral of the story. Skateboarding cool. Because really, there's nothing else to take away here.
Oh,
on that note, though, Bo, what are we drinking next week?
I don't even know. Hold on.
It's right here.
Oh, here it is. All right. We're going to be doing the next beer. I'll tell you the movie in a second. Shit. We're doing Equilibrium's Lab Fluff, where science meets beer.
And Bo can also hit you with the movie because this is his pick.
Come on, Lab Fluff. We got to do Flubber. We're going to do some Robin Williams and some Will Wheaton.
Yes.
Will Wheaton. Will Wheaton is in this movie.
Bouncy Slime.
Bouncy Slime. It's going to be great. We got some Marshmallow Lab Fluff. Join us next time.
Come
listen
back to us. We love you guys.
We love everybody.
This episode will not be as long as it sounded like to us.
But I hope everybody had fun.
Goodbye. Bo, do you have something for us to end on? I think we're done.
Fuck. Let's go play some fucking Tony Hawk, man. Let's break out the PlayStation.
I've done this before.
I've done this. I've had it done to me, and I'm
never
still
seen
alive.
This happen.